tomorrow's yet.
Yeah. Okay, we're up.
I don't need to do that anymore.
See you guys.
See ya.
I just feel the hate.
I guess I need to call the guy. What's our roofing guy at Jay Brett's?
What do you need him for?
Oh, we had a guy from Colorado Springs that called, said he had 3 roofs.
Yeah.
I called the building department. He has 3 layers. He has 2 layers of felt and 1 layer of roofing.
Why did they put 2 layers of felt
Was he
on?
rejected? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he rejected it. The manufacturer of the felt and the roofing, they both said that's perfectly normal.
Well, why is he upset about it?
Because he thinks it's wrong.
Teens out on the plains, single digits in the mountains.
Denver could get down to a...
Well, he told the inspector, and the inspector said...
Where's everybody? Is this it?
That's it.
No, they're coming. They're stuck.
How are you?
Good, how are you? I have a nice 4-wheel drive, so I got
That wasn't the problem. It was the people in front of me.
It's always people who really just...
We are in the beginning of the mess.
This one's mine now.
This is the...
Peace Prize, which will be tomorrow.
Okay.
She's going to get the Peace Prize.
My new headset, I love it. It's my old headset, really. It's my
This
original.
report is sponsored by your
Yeah,
local Ford store.
Barack Obama got it.
Are any of you guys jealous when you see my little headset here?
I just noticed it the other day. How's it work?
Oh, it's my TV IFB.
Yeah.
And I had it sitting in a drawer since I retired from TV, and I think, you know what? This is the best thing. I mean, why would we never wore headsets? And you have to. It just gives me freedom, and it doesn't mess up my hair.
That's the important part.
Weather forecast: snow showers throughout the rest of today. Chilly, a high of only 31. Right now, light snow.
Yeah, our Sleaze Brigade guy has about 11-page rap sheet here.
Oh, which one?
The guy that
cursed us.
gold necklace to the woman with cancer.
Okay, we need to put him up.
Yes.
Actually, I would like to get him on the show, because he'll go off. He'll go
He went
off.
off on me. He
He went off on me.
You got him on the phone?
I got him on the phone. He blamed
Those
her.
are good.
She's lying about
Good,
my
good.
cancer. He gets sympathy. She's
But-
lying about the neck.
Oh, so in other words, he didn't sell her one?
Yes, well, yeah, he admits he sold it to her, but he claims it was real gold, and she swapped it. The guy's just an ass.
May I ask why we have chosen not to believe him?
He's an asshole.
Well, let's
Right,
look at
okay,
his,
but
let's
is
look at
he-
his 11-page rap sheet. Theft of
okay.
over $20,000, felony menacing, assault, third-degree assault, domestic violence.
He said she didn't have cancer, didn't she? Right, she told you that. Didn't
Yeah.
really have cancer.
So what we're saying is, you know, his credibility is shot with us.
Yeah,
huh?
that's not too good.
Just like, yeah, he did say he was going to sue the
He's suing you.
Oh, good, good. Okay, we'll stand in line.
And he brought up your ex and everything.
Of course he did. All that false bullshit.
Protection
People
order
love
she's
that.
got against him. He's not a nice man.
Not a nice man at all. When you curse at me, you got it.
Well,
Yeah, boy, Dan didn't forget that.
well, I just didn't appreciate him attacking the woman the way he did.
Yeah, that's kind of
The
shit.
victim.
And he lied. He said Clint called him at 10:30 at night.
Yeah. I can show you my phone.
Okay, guys, we're going on. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Let's get right to the phone.
We have a very important show talking about health insurance because open enrollment begins when? When does open enrollment?
For Medicare begins October 15th.
And introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Jared Quaz, and I work with the Integra Insurance Group.
Now, Jared has been talking to us for years. He's been with Integra. He's one of the experts. It's really important you know what you're doing here because things are changing big time, right? Especially for Medicare people.
Oh, yes. Well, in the Medicare Advantage world, it has become very competitive. So
Is that good?
Yes, it's very
Okay, good. We'll talk about that too. Anything bad with any of the health issues we should look out for, just as a headline, then I'll get to the phones. Anything?
For healthcare?
Yeah, anything that we should be aware of. No, I'm talking about for insurance, that red flags right away that you think, yeah, let's tell people about this, Tom.
Well, definitely the reinsurance bill.
What's that mean?
The reinsurance bill was a legislation that passed to help out the individual premiums for 2020.
Okay, we'll talk about that coming up right now. Rick, speaking of Medicare, Rick, what's going on with you? Rick? Are you there, Rick?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, Rick?
I have two parents in a nursing home.
Yeah.
And they have Medicare, and they have a supplement called Trivent.
Yeah. Now, by the way, those who there are two options you have with Medicare. One is to basically take Medicare from the government and then supplement it. And then you supplement it, plus you get a drug plan. Another way is to get Advantage, which totally takes over your Medicare. So, Rick, they have regular Medicare with Trivent. What's happening?
Yeah. Well, the Trivent bill every quarter for both of them is like $1,400.
Now, wait a minute. So every quarter combined, they're $1,400. That's not unusual.
Okay.
Now, what about that? What do you think, Jared?
So do you have a Part D plan?
For drugs?
We do have a prescription card, yeah.
Is that included in that supplement?
No, that is separate. So you do get a supplement, and then you get also a Part D
But
plan.
I think he's calling, and we'll talk about it, but it's $1,400, first of all, so that's $700 each. Is that a lot? Per quarter. It doesn't seem to be, because that breaks down to be what? $230?
Yeah, $230
per person.
Yeah.
Right, not necessarily. He's getting a copay for his drug. So he is for.
No, I'm talking about he was talking about the premium first. The premium for a Trivent. Trivent is a supplement.
Trivent Part D?
No. You're talking about your supplement, right, Rick? I don't even think he mentioned Part D.
It's called Trivent.
And it's a supplement.
Yeah.
And that supplement is $700 per quarter per parent.
That is way too much.
Oh, it is. Wait a minute. Wait. We're not talking about D now. We're talking about a supplement. What do I pay for? I mean, what do normal people pay for a supplement?
Well, it depends. If you have Part G, the average is around 120, 130 if you're 65. But
what's G?
G is a supplement that supplements A and B, right? But they don't cover. So G.
Okay, can you get a supplement with drug coverage as well, or do you get a separate one?
You get a separate supplement. For
so
Part
you're
D.
saying that he is paying, they are paying a lot of money, you think?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that is a lot of money for a supplement plan.
Okay, have you heard of Trivent?
I have not heard of Trivent.
Rick.
Yes, sir.
When did you first become, and I'm sorry for saying it sounds fine to me. I don't know. I thought, hey, $230 each per. In fact, Dan, you thought so too yesterday when we were talking about it. But I don't really, I guess I didn't pay attention to what I'm paying on my supplement. I guess I could look it up. I have a really good supplement that you guys hooked me up with. And I'll look and see what I'm paying. But, Rick, that's a simple matter. You just change it.
Correct.
Well, and that's what we're asking about. Because that's $5,600 a year.
Yeah, so
over the last 20 years.
You're not going to go back though.
Tremendous amount.
You're not going to go back and get the money back,
Oh, and I understand that. But that's why I called, looking for an option to put them on.
That's right.
So that we can cover them for the rest of their lives.
Let's figure this out. This is an excellent day for you to call. So hang on. This is one of the things we'll do. I'd like to take this as an example. If we take his information and then we just, we're not going to bind you or do anything, but just tell you what's out there. But I'm trying to find here what my Medicare is, and I'll come up with that on what I'm paying for a supplement, because I have, I think he called it like the Cadillac of what I have. So I'd like to know what I'm paying for that. And because it must be good. I let Integra take care of all this for me. Now, let's keep going here. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Steve. I urge you guys to get your calls in. If you're just tuning in for the first time, the show is all about help. We've been doing this for 40 years in Denver and elsewhere even longer. The longest running radio show, truly, that's continual with the same host and still on the air. So Steve wants to talk about a contractor. What's going on, Steve?
Hey, how you doing?
What's happening, man? I'm doing good. And by the way, I am doing good, but I do want to just give a shout out to Mark and Suzanne because, hold on, here it is. Here it comes. Where? You see, that was Mark's voicemail he left because of the snow. You see. Oh.
He was cold.
And he was cold, and it was slippery. And I say, look, why do you live out there if you can't handle it? I lived in Parker and Franktown most of my time in Colorado, not anymore. And I never missed a day. Hey, so Steve, what happened with this contractor? Let's get to it.
Okay. Well, this started last Saturday, actually. I'm actually in the process of trying to sell my home.
Okay.
So there's a bathroom in the home that's kind of dated. You know, the house was built in '82.
Were you upgrading the bath?
Yes.
Okay.
The bathroom looks all of 1982. So I think it would definitely help the resale of the home if I had an updated bath.
And what happened?
So I went to Craigslist and started looking for
oh, God. Come on, man. Steve, why do you go to Craigslist?
Because I'm cheap and I was trying to save a little money.
All right, you're honest too. Okay, so then what happened?
So I find a guy in there that advertises, you know, he's 26 years in the business, blah, blah, blah. He can do this, that, and the other thing. So
okay.
I text the guy, and he's like, oh, you know, he's like, this is perfect. I had a job next week coming up that canceled on me. So, you know, I could give you a smoking deal because I'd rather make a little money than no money. Which, again, was probably just a setup for, you know, giving me a low bid, have me jump on it. And, you know, so anyway, he comes to the house, gives me a bid, and he says, okay, I need whatever it was. I think it was 20 or 25% down. So he's like, how do you want to pay that? And since I've been saving up for this project, I had cash, and I gave the guy cash, and he left.
How much?
$1,100.
Now, listen, you truly never met the guy before. He comes to your house the first time from Craigslist, and you give him $1,100 in cash.
Yeah.
Come on, man. No, come on. Now, as I'm reviewing these facts, do you sit back and think, yeah, that was pretty stupid? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, after the fact, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, when you're there. I mean, the guy was definitely knowledgeable. He knew what he was talking about. You could tell he was at least in the business, you know, or is in the business.
Well, of course. You know, con men never come and say, I don't know if I can do a good job,
otherwise they'd be bad con men.
Please give me some money. Okay, so listen, man. Where do we stand right now? He took $1,100, and that was Saturday. You haven't heard a word? Did you try calling him?
Yeah, there's been a little bit of correspondence because first what he told me on Saturday was he's like, are you going to be around tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'll be around, you know, all day on Sunday. He's like, okay, I may come by and drop off some materials because he was planning on starting on Monday.
Yeah.
So Sunday I was like, you know, didn't hear anything from him, so I just shot him a text. I said, hey, you know, you're still coming by to drop off materials.
What's his name?
His name is Joe Rogers.
Joe Rogers. And does he have a company name?
He uses a name, Residential Commercial Interiors.
Now, did you look him up anywhere or do any research at all?
Beforehand, no. Unfortunately, I used my detective skills after things started falling
What did you find out afterwards?
Probably when, because here we are up to Sunday, where I texted him, said, hey, you're going to drop off materials. Didn't hear from him. I texted him one more time later Sunday night, said, well, are you going to still start on Monday? And then didn't hear anything from him. So that's when I started kind of going to the internet and doing some searches. And then that's when I found a bunch of write-ups on him from Angie's List, where, you know, people reported basically the same thing that he was doing to me, you know, saying
we're still going to give it a try and try to call him. And and then I hope you have a sense of humor because I'm going to bring out the Troubleshooter choir right now. Hold on. This is for... You are an idiot. Now listen, we're going to call seriously. We'll try to get something done. Everyone needs help, especially those who make mistakes, right? I mean, obviously. So just to recap, this is the Troubleshooter Show. I'm Tom Martino. We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. We're talking about health insurance today and Medicare and the changes coming. Open enrollment is very important. A lot of people don't realize it's truly the only time you can mess with your insurance. And I don't know why they made it that way. I don't know why. We'll talk about that. I just don't know why. And then a shout out to Mark and Suzanne, who, because of this little tiny snow, I get this voicemail from Mark. Okay, well, my Genesis would get wet.
I think he said, Stephen said that the guy did this in Oregon too. He told me.
I don't know. We'll get a hold of him, but it would be fun if we could.
What did he say the company name was?
Residential Commercial Insurance.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense.
I'm looking up Secretary of State.
I can't find out what I'm paying.
You're
Oh, wait,
probably paying
I know
like
what I'm paying. Wait a minute.
40.
I pay total monthly for Part B plus supplement is $407. So hold on, let's talk about Simply Floors Inc. because we have the holiday rush on, and the message is simple. You save money and you get great product, and you make your own appointments at simplyfloorsinc.com. I can't say it any better. He has financing available, cheaper than a credit card, and it's really convenient. He also has the best selections at the best prices, period. Plus, for this, he's taking an extra 5% off. You know, that's a big deal when you're already getting 30 or 40%. Simplyfloorsinc.com. It's the snow.
So your Part B.
I don't know what I'm paying. I can't find it. What I'm paying. Wait. Shit.
Cigna?
I don't know what I'm
paying. Cigna, you might be on Cigna G.
I don't know what I'm paying.
So Part B, depending on your income, is either 135.
Is anyone in the office at Is anyone at the office right now at Integra?
Linda might be.
Would she be able to look me up, or she wouldn't know, would she?
Yeah, she might. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I really do want to. I mean, I don't care. I trust anything.
I'm assuming you're
Hold
paying
on.
around 100.
I have Part D of Cigna, and
Cigna Part G.
No, I do have Cigna D. I don't know. Oh, Cigna Supplement. Cigna Supplement is here. It's Cigna, and I have Cigna. I don't know which one I have, because this is an article on all of them, so I don't know.
I'm assuming yours is around like 140, 150, and you got.
Let me put it to you this way: since I've started Medicare, I've paid nothing for nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, I've not paid a dime for anything.
Right.
You're $404 a month.
How does my supplement D work? When I go to the pharmacy, do they automatically apply that? Because some of the stuff, some medication I have paid for.
That is his company name, Residential.
Right, so it's
$2.
Joseph Allen Rogers lives
so
up
it's
in
generic. You're probably paying
Georgetown.
us $2.
The company name is the
Yeah, exactly.
But are they automatically running it through?
Those guys aren't good.
So they automatically run it through your insurance.
Okay,
So Part
I don't
D's
remember
insurance.
telling you I must have
Good.
filled all that out with CVS. Oh, because I had to pick CVS. I had to pick the pharmacy.
So they already have all that
The guys
information, so when you get your prescription,
right
you just go and you just pay the
good
copay.
guys, you got to wait 3 weeks.
I guess I got to preload my commercials. He was yelling at me.
I looked up.
Next time you yell at me, say, Tom, Simply Floors.
Oh, he was doing it in Washington.
Today is
And he's wanted in Oregon.
Wanted?
He is? Okay, let's talk about it, guys.
Okay. He lives up in Georgetown. That's the last address.
Good. Let's keep talking about this stuff. I love it, man. When
These guys at Conham are good.
you know, that's what he said. Well, you seem knowledgeable. What the fuck do you expect him to do?
I got a picture of him.
Then let's get him on. Okay, make sure I get all that, Dan. After the show, I got to get these up there.
Oh, we got to get the one for Clint.
No, we will. I got both of those. So remind me after the show, Clint, please, before you leave. I want to put them up. I mean, if you just give me enough to get started, then you can split. I just need to get.
Go anywhere. It's nasty out.
I want to go flying. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, I've got 2 doctors that call me at 4 o'clock in the morning on days like this and need to get out.
On the one up on hour 2, you say? Okay.
They fly out their Cirrus in this weather. Cirrus must be a hell of an airplane.
Because I did Simply Floors and I should have done Sheridan, is what you're saying, right? Okay.
I don't think he lives in this
Find out by
place.
looking at their website, denveregresswindow.com, 720-626-4221. 720-626-4221.
Facebook has a comment on that Joe Rogers.
Okay, good.
We'll find it.
We're finding a lot about him.
Yeah, I guess
He is a
he's done
scumbag,
it in
man.
other cities and.
I got it on Angie's list.
Yeah, Craigslist also. That's what this guy said.
He's advertising on Craigslist. You're saying he has comments?
Yeah, the guy left a comment on Facebook about Joe Rogers on Craigslist.
If they don't do anything, they can get him. They can go after him for a criminal.
My dad actually has a court date about that today.
I looked up him before.
Sorry, what's that?
My dad he has a court date. They're charging him. The exact same thing.
Your dad has a court date?
Like
because it's hard to get him. Yeah.
Small claims?
No, he's getting criminal court. Yeah.
Against your dad?
No, against the guy who took him.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what?
I'm Tom Martino.
Man, we are finding
a lot out about this guy. You know, if this show does nothing else, it tells you what not to do. Rick went to Craigslist, never even Googled or anything, gives the guy $1,100 in cash, and he never sees him again. Well, it's been Saturday. But we have good reason to believe you won't see him. Let's go over why. Hey, Rick, by the way, did you give him actual greenbacks when we say cash? Did you actually give him greenbacks? Or Steve, I'm sorry, Steve, I'm sorry.
This is Rick, Tom.
Oh, wait. Okay, with Joe Rogers?
No, this is the one about Trivent.
Oh, I'm on the wrong line. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, as far as Trivent goes, they are paying too much. We have a call in. We're going to actually do on the air some rating of your parents if you have enough information. So, Daff, let me ask you something, Jared. Would you be able to ask them enough questions just to give us an idea of what they should be paying?
Yes, I can.
All right. Could you go where Daff is and just do that? Hold on. I'm going to have Jared take some information. We're not going to, obviously, you're not going to obligate yourself, but we're going to give you an idea of what the market is doing right now for supplements in the case of your parents. 303-713-TALK. Also, 303-MARTINO. Let's, and Mary, I see you have a comment and a question on Medicare. We'll get to you, too. Steve, he's the one with the contractor. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we wanted to know, did you give him greenbacks, actual money?
Yep, money.
Money. Okay, and then after that, you had doubts because you didn't hear from him. And we, of course, found out a lot more. Plus, people are calling in saying, oh, my God, he took money from me. Other people are saying he's a crazy person. So what did we find out? Who wants to go first, Deputy Dan or Clint? Go ahead. Tell him.
I just hit an answering machine.
Okay, but you did some research on him. What did you find?
Well, from what we're finding so far, he's wanted in Oregon.
He's wanted. He literally is wanted as a criminal.
And I got that from Steve.
He's a fugitive. Okay, but we also found out that he has had several cases there where he has done the same MO. And then we've had other customers call us who say, not only did he take money, but he was a jerk about it. Now, obviously, he's not going to be a jerk with you because, you know, he needed the pigeon to give him money. Do you have a receipt of any kind?
No, he took a photo of everything he wrote down and said he was going to email it to
But
me.
I mean, proof of payment. What do you have for proof of payment?
I have my word, and that's about it.
Oh my God!
No contract or
Yeah,
anything?
I was trying.
No, you understand. Hold on. Wow. I really can't believe this. So you know that this guy is really just going to deny he ever took any money.
Oh, of course. And that's why I was trying to get him to admit to something, at least in text, because I know otherwise I really don't have anything. You know, I kept saying, you know, are you going to at least bring my money back if you're not going to do the job?
He's not going to bring money back. He never brings money back. I mean, you basically threw the money away. Just really, you need to move on. But we want to go after him or warn others. And, you know, people like this should be thrown in jail. Of course, our authorities have better things to do. I'm not going to put down the police, but they don't concentrate on civil crime.
And Tom?
Neither does the district attorney. What? Yes.
Stephen on Facebook said that he dug deeper and he's wanted in Oregon for wage theft as well.
Wage theft as well. Okay, so get Steve's information for Deputy Clint, who's going to work on this. You know, if any of you have had any dealings with a guy named Joe Rogers, residential commercial interiors, which doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know.
No, it is his business, but it's delinquent right now.
Okay, but we're going to try to figure out where this guy is.
And his picture's up on Facebook right now.
Okay, and then we're going to add him to sleazbrigade.com. It's sad when this happens. Now, Mary, what is your comment or question or both on Medicare? Mary?
Okay, so my mom is 85, and she has been paying $212.50 a month for her supplemental, and she pays about $30 a month for Part D.
Now that's about right for Part D.
Right. So that's why I was confused, because we went to a specialist in Dayton, Ohio before about 10 years ago, and I think she has Part G or I, and they told her it was the best she could get, and they no longer sell it, and that we should never give this up.
They're right about certain things. There are coverages no longer covered that you should hold on to. There are some being discontinued as well. And then as far as the supplement, we can, you know, again, we're trying to get an idea of what supplements run from low to high. And then, but Part D, I can tell you, is right in there. And then she has Medicare Part A and Part B normal. And that's what I recommend. And that's what really John Jones and the gang over, and Day, of course, Day Jones, they really recommend most of the time that you take the government Medicare and supplement it. However, there are people who do better with a Medicare Advantage. Now, people have been asking, and Mary, do you have any other comments, by the way? I don't want to walk on you.
I have a quick question.
All right, hold on one sec. I just want to tell people on the Advantage what that basically is. You're giving up your Social Security premium to them, and they take care of all of it. So it's a private company taking care of all of it. I mean, okay, Mary, what's your question?
I'm 60 years old. My husband is on Medicare. He's 68. He works full time, and we opted for him to go on Medicare because he was going to have 2 knee replacements. That didn't happen for various reasons, but now I'm out on the marketplace trying to get my health insurance because I'm only 60. I am paying $850 a month.
Oh my God!
With a $6,600 deductible.
Oh my goodness! Wait, what is your deductible?
Yeah,
$6,600. Okay. You know what? Yeah. You know how we do the insurance comparisons at Compass for cars and houses? We really need to set up something, because I can see that we're going to be doing a lot of comparing today. So take her information as well. You know, Mary, one thing I can tell you for sure, okay, no matter what, you'll never ever get lower prices than Integra, but they don't guarantee to beat anybody. They're just going to do some research for you. Again, the weather put a little snag in this. John and Day are not here. Daff, can you find out with Jared if there's someone back at the office that can run some scenarios for people that call in? Because I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of this. And then another thing is the weather, okay? Obviously, this is the time that you guys are going to make a lot of mistakes under pressure for cars and houses if you didn't listen and get things taken care of. So please listen to the show further, because we're going to have a lot of information.
Is Denver's talk station.
I don't remember, but I know I have exactly what Tom has. I have Medicare A and B, Cigna, F.
So your 400 is your Social Security payment too? Your Social Security?
Everything, 430 something with.
But that's your Social Security that they take out of your check, right?
Yeah, but also wait, no, that includes my supplement. I just grouped them together.
Right, supplemental, Social Security.
Yeah, but I don't know what I'm paying for each. I usually keep track of
it. It should be the same. This is what
it is the same as mine, but I don't know what mine is either.
What do you mean the same? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got exactly the same as yours.
Unless you have Advantage.
No, I don't. And so mine, I have a note here that I'm paying $407 total for B plus supplement. But I think it's more than that now. I don't know why, but I think.
I think I heard the F went up since it was discontinued. I mean, we get to keep it because we had it.
What is that?
Part F. They have different parts of the Cigna. Part F is no deductible.
You know what I can find out? I can go on.
Nothing.
I can go on. I can sign on.
So they don't do that anymore?
They either.
Okay, I got a spot, guys. Okay, I told you about the weather, right? Now fix it. 24/7 is the company you can trust. On my referral list at referrallist.com. They're going to be getting a lot of calls today. Be patient because this is the company you want. And for $39, they find any problem. Now, of course, look what we have today. There might be some emergencies with no heat whatsoever. Again, Fix It 24/7 is a company I know and trust. They even do free second opinions. But again, things might be a little different today as far as wait time and all of that. But here's how you get a hold of them. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. I've known the owner literally since he went out on his own many, many years ago, like 20 years ago. And he guarantees the best value, the best service, the best all-around everything when it comes to 100% satisfaction. That's 720-526-3939.
The last 2 days, a friend that works with me, David, and I run around blowing up sprinkler systems and winterizing motorhomes for 2 days now.
Well, sprinkler systems, you don't even have to do it yet. I mean, we're not even close to where it's.
Well, if you got the.
You should shut. I shut my water off right there. But
our sprinklers are done. The Mr. Green Jeans came and did our sprinkler.
Everybody else forgot last minute. David and I did 8 of them yesterday.
What do you think about those systems that supposedly are freeze-proof and they say no maintenance?
That's what I got.
And all you do is turn them off and they back drain.
Or you don't blow them?
Nope, you don't have to blow them out.
You don't blow them out at all.
Do you have a?
I don't. We blow ours out, but we're supposed to. It's supposed to be
low point in the system. You know how you have a key that turns
everything.
up.
But what about the water? Doesn't some water get trapped up in those valves or heads? I can't.
It can, but it expands out. And
it doesn't hurt.
I've never had it break. I've had it 22 years and never had a problem. The other trick guy taught me is never turn the clock off. Let the solenoid open and close your round.
I know. That's what I hear, but we turn ours off. Now, in my country club property, it's all common. They do everything, but I just don't understand the winterization anymore.
If you do an automatic like we did, you don't have to do it. Jared?
Yes.
I have Medicare AB and a Cigna type Part F, like Tom has.
Tom has G.
Oh, he does have G. Maybe I have G then.
Because you don't want F. F is getting phased out in 2020.
And what is F anyway?
F, so the only thing you have to pay is $185 for your medical expenses all year. Right, that's it. F pays that $185. However, F is about $40 more a month. Why? It doesn't make any sense. And since F is, because you're actually losing money going to F. But if you go to F and it's grandfathered in 2020, they close that block. No new blood's going in there. Premiums are based off of claims. So it just goes up. Everybody's getting sicker. What do you think the premiums are going to do?
Is it being phased out, or is it just not being purchased because of it?
The F is getting, but from the macro bill, it's getting phased out.
Okay, it's okay because it doesn't make economic sense.
So I don't have the same as him because I do
no,
have
not
F.
at all. But brokers make more money off of it.
Does he have F? He said.
I think he said F.
He thought he did, but
he better not.
For sure.
Nah, it's not.
Because if he
said it was phasing out.
Yeah, it is. It's 100%. 2020, you can't get it anymore unless you're.
He needs to. My Cigna is wonderful.
Right. So you need to be part G.
If I go on my Cigna, will it show me my premium?
It should. I'm assuming it's around $140, $150 a month.
I got 2 years to go. when I got it.
It's autofilled. Good. My login. I love autofill. Okay, so Thomas, your program, my contract. It doesn't tell me the price.
So, I mean, if I can go to, let me see what we can get into. I can
Premium history, bro. Premium history.
Yep, there you go. Got her.
Here's the premium.
The only thing, if you go and use your personal stuff, you want to.
My premium is. Oh, it went up. You lousy bastards. It went up. It went from 133 to 153.
Yeah.
Premium for Social Security.
For D. Excuse me, for G. For the supplement.
That's not. Oh, how'd you get the 400 then?
That's part B.
That's included this. The A and B, the government takes out 3-something or 380 or.
They take out that much?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
they take out $135.50 unless you make over a certain amount.
Oh, they're taking a lot out of me.
Yeah, so if you're making, I think it's over 80 grand.
Yeah.
They're taking more.
And it goes up.
Yeah.
What's the limit?
I think it's.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Okay, I found out what I'm paying for my supplement. It was $133 a month, and now it went up to $153. That's not bad. $153, and I have Cigna. Now that was recommended to me by John and Day. They did an analysis for me, and then I also use Cigna for my drug plan, and from my estimation, I've never paid more than $2 or $3 when I get drugs, and I'm talking about, blood pressure and stuff. So if you have questions, we're taking those as well. But let's get to the other stuff here. Whatever you need, you can call us for help. And then Keith is calling to help us. And our number is 303-713-TALK. Keith? Doggone it. I was hoping he'd come on. He said he had more information on this Joe Rogers. Keith, if you're listening, please call. Vern, what's happening? Vern?
Yes, just a minute here.
How can we help you, Vern?
Can you hear me okay?
I can. I can hear you fine.
Okay. I live in a home for senior citizens, and an awful lot of us here use an electric scooter or electric wheelchair to get around.
Okay.
And we have a door here that we have to use to get out to the parking lot to take trash out to the dumpster. And the past few weeks, there's been an intermittent problem with it not working. And it's frustrating. And
here, let me get right to this here. Somehow you're being accused of disorderly conduct, and they want you out of there.
Yes.
Why?
It says that last week when I reported the problem, then I to the office, and then I went out to try to get out, and I hit the button hard a couple times, real hard, and it worked. So this told me the switch was bad. And then the lady who manages the office came out and chewed me out for hitting that switch so hard.
Well, she said that, here's what they said. Management was subjected to obscene language when reporting an issue.
Yes.
Management heard you hitting the handicap button over and over very hard. After reviewing the cameras, it was observed that you indeed punched the handicap button and then proceeded to leave through the doors. Management stopped and talked to you and you continued to use obscene language towards her even after she asked you not to. Now listen, here's the deal. And I'm going to ask you to dig deep and be totally honest. Did you swear at her?
Yes, once. When she started to chew me out.
Were you yelling?
Well, not yelling. I raised my voice a little bit. I said, "Well, fix the goddamn thing."
Okay, listen. Here's the bottom line. This is one you're not going to win. You know why? Because they don't have to have. It's not as if it's a court of law. They don't have to prove anything. They can just feel that you are not up to the behavioral. I mean, I guess let's put it this way. If they were doing this over and over and over to people of a select color or a select religion or a select group, we might say, hey, they're using this and it's against civil rights or whatever. But this is, you know, these complaints probably, I'm just going out on a limb, at the Village at Hamden, they're probably not commonplace to kick people out for misconduct. What I'm getting at is this: no matter how you disagree with them, Vern, it's going to be really based on what they think.
Well, I don't have a history of any problems.
Okay.
No one has ever complained about me. There's always on time. I take
But
care of the
if this security footage shows you flailing and shouting and punching the button.
It doesn't.
Okay, I guess what I'm asking is this, Vern. Do you want to overturn this eviction? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I can't afford to move. I don't have the money.
Okay. Did you go in and basically mea culpa? You say, listen, I am really sorry. Instead of trying to deny, did you go in and say, look, I can't afford to move. This is devastating to me. Would you please reconsider? I mean, have you done that kind of a plea?
It is very difficult for me to do that.
Okay.
It is. It's very difficult for me to do that.
Well, thanks for your honesty on that.
I don't feel I'm in the wrong.
Okay. Well, Vern, here's the problem. It's never going. Okay. I know you can't afford to move, but I can tell you this, Vern, that you're fighting a perception. This is not where they're saying you didn't pay and you can show a canceled check. It's not. Even if you think in your mind what you did is not aggressive, it's not. It doesn't matter. If they feel it was, they say the staff, they're going to have people say, oh, yeah, I saw it and I heard it and I was scared and I'm this. Even if you feel you're 100% not in the wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to just give you the truth rather than just I'm not going to waste time trying to lie to you. It doesn't matter. We've seen these cases time and time again. And the only hope you have is, and I appreciate your honesty saying it's very hard for you to do that, but that's the only hope you have is to say to them, you know, look, okay, this was, I don't, you know, I'm not, I can't afford to move. I'm not in a position to move. I really, would you give me another chance? Here's why. And I just heard you say you can't do that. So Vern, get ready to move. If you were my dad, I would tell you, my uncle, I would tell you the same thing. You can't have it both ways. I don't know what you were hoping we would tell you. See, this is not a demand for money. It would be easier if it was a demand for money. Now, I'm not sure how this works, but I'm pretty sure it's like any eviction. This is the initial demand. Then what happens, if you do not leave voluntarily, they will serve you with a notice. And then you have to go to court. And at the eviction hearing, you can give a defense. You can. You can say, I don't think the eviction is right because blah, blah, blah. I did not violate lease page 3, number 20, paragraph number 25, and lease page 5, paragraph number 21. I did not violate that. Or you can hire an attorney to do that. But there you go with the money you would need to move.
Well, I can't afford to hire an attorney.
I know. And here that what. Vern, are you telling me it's that difficult for you to go in and simply say you're sorry and ask them for another chance?
It's very difficult when.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing I said was fix the goddamn thing.
Okay, I heard that. But even that, it's perception. It's how you said it. It was your body language. Daphne, we can't help him. I mean, I told him what to expect. We can't help him. If he had a different attitude, and I understand what that means to you, Vern, it's like nails on a chalkboard. But if you had a different attitude, I think Daphne's skilled enough. She'd be able to call and get it done. But I don't even think we can do that with good conscience because I think that you probably might be a pain in the ass.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is.
All right.
Hi, Dad.
You guys made it.
Let's see. You want to put one on one side and one on the other?
I want whoever can get to a microphone easily to be. I think John should be somewhere where they don't have to share, and he has one in front of him. And then you can have Jared and Dave. Okay, I'm going to be doing a commercial. You got to close that door. Cracker Jack short.
He's going to get that short chair, though.
Guys, it doesn't matter. I'd have to do a spot. So.
Here, I'll take a short one and take this one.
So we won't be talking. Nice to see all of you.
Sorry we're late.
Where's my Starbucks?
They asked me to drive, and I kept missing the exit.
Okay, guys. Cracker Jack mudjacking, in short, saved me 12 grand. And you know what? They can save you money. It's a free estimate. There is no reason not to call them when you have a concrete problem. They'll be the first ones to tell you if they can't fix it. Most of the time they can. If concrete is sinking or heaving or cracking, most of the time it's because of voids underneath, and they do a pumping underneath to permanently repair these. 303-410-7787, free estimates, 303-410-7787, always cheaper than replacing. CrackerJackMudjacking.com. All right, that's the only time
Here's the microphone right there. Okay, and I'll
yeah, so you don't have to share anything there. He'll take care of the button. All you have to do is talk when you're spoken to. No, actually, that's not even true. You can chime in, actually. You don't even have to wait. Hi, Day.
Hi,
I was bragging on what you guys did for me. I mean, but why did my supplemental premium go from 133 to 153?
Here's what happened, Tom, real quick. We had a meeting about it yesterday, day before yesterday, and what these carriers are doing on that G plan, they're really trying to protect the plan, because now the F plan's being eliminated.
Yeah.
Right, it's discontinued.
Yeah.
So a lot of the F people now are flowing over to the G.
Yeah.
So you got these additional risks that are happening. So where Cigna is normally averaged about 4%, this year the carriers, all of them, from Anthem was 6%, and a lot of the other carriers had that 8 to 9% rate increase this year because of that F plan being discontinued.
Yeah.
But here's, the good thing is you can always go down the ladder. If we want to,
I don't want to go down the ladder. No, I don't want to go down the ladder.
Okay.
I want the best of the best.
And the other thing I heard when y'all show first started, what should people be made aware of? If y'all had a chance to talk to the macro bill,
no.
I'd recommend you bring up the macro bill.
Yeah, well, we will.
Because that's going to have a major impact. And the major thing, Tom, when people call into the office, that I hear from seniors all the time is they think they can't change their supplement plan except doing open enrollment. You can change your supplements anytime you want to, provided you have good health.
Open enrollment's predominantly for Medicare Advantage.
So a lot of people just keep paying these increase in premiums even though they're perfectly healthy. And obviously we're trying to get people off the F into the G. That's the major thing. Get away from the F and go to the G. Or the N. The three things with the macro bill, which are, of course, brand new cars we got. And also with the macro bill, elimination of the F to C and HDL. They're being discontinued, which of course, people are going to be getting into a smaller block, like premiums could start to increase. Correct? Because your block's being discontinued. No new 65-year-olds coming in, just like we do with clients. And the last thing is that merit-based. Remember she talked about the merit?
MIPS.
Yeah.
And like I said, living up in Georgetown,
that Medicare is now more merit-based with their reimbursement, which is good.
Joe, you took care of my wife and I,
Jr.'s here now. Dan, where should we put him? Should we come in
He should
with
step
me?
here.
I'm sorry.
I need an extra chair.
John Jr.'s
He
here.
should be
Oh,
right here.
let's get another chair in here, and then he can sit right there.
Before Johnny, that jackknife cars.
No, we can bring another chair in here, and we can have.
Yeah, we can just put two.
Yeah. I'll bring another chair in. Where's he downstairs?
He is. Clint, would you mind going down and getting Johnny? I have
Oh,
two lines open,
not a problem.
so. Hi. I'm glad you guys made it safely.
Yeah, it was
Hi,
a-
John.
Hey, Dad, how you doing?
I'm good.
And
How
we
are
want
you?
to get with you.
John and Johnny, huh?
We can order
John
John
Jr.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the show if that works, or we
have a
can
third
eat
floor.
during the
If
show.
they're doing the show.
Yeah, we
So
can
it's
do
here
during
if I
the
want
show.
everybody leaving.
Okay.
Just walk down to the conference room and get something to eat.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect. I will get that near the end. Okay, Dave, you come over here. Do you have a splitter and another headset, another headphone, Dan?
The Trident.
Ooh, another headphone.
Headphone, if there's another one in the bottom there, especially since Tom doesn't use it. And if you have a splitter, that
The
one.
Trident people, they can only go to Medicare Advantage.
Comes free.
Yeah, but I think they're on like an old school K or someone that doesn't exist anymore.
Then we'll let Johnny sit here so he can get him here. Jared,
Johnny's shaking. It's because
I have to tell you, Lauren got a full-time job as a preschool teacher, but they are paying 100% of her insurance.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, dental, and she only has to pay for eyes. And I said, don't even pay for that, because you can go to America's Best for nothing. So
Well, that's good.
you
Good
got her
news.
through a great area, so thank you guys
You're
so
very
much.
welcome.
Is this yours? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Let's talk. Keith, do you have more information on Joe Rogers? Some guy called in and said he finds him on Craigslist, he pays him $1,100 in cash, and never sees him again, or hasn't seen him. It's since been Saturday. But we looked him up, found out he's wanted in Oregon. He's done this to several people in Oregon and around Denver. So it sounds like he's bad news. He goes by the name Joe Rogers, Residential Commercial Interiors. Keith, what can you tell us?
Yep. Well, he's got a website up in Oregon, RCI.
And is that what it is,
but
RCI.com?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, something, okay.
But
All right.
yeah, his story to me was, he broke up with his partner. His partner's still in Oregon, and he's reaching out on his own here, blah, blah, blah. So he got $1,000 from me. I did sign a contract with him, so I have that, and I took a copy of his driver's license.
Wait, you hired him. How'd you find him?
I hired him.
How'd you find him, Keith?
Craigslist. Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
Craigslist.
so Deputy Clint, we have another victim here, and we'll include you on our list. But how long ago did you hire him?
This has been about 6 months.
And you never got anything for the money?
No, I got a message. His mom got sick. He had to
So
go,
basically, I mean, he doesn't do any work at all. He just takes money. How much did he take from you?
Right. So $1,000 for me. The only thing I tried to cover myself as best I could. I got a copy of his driver's license.
Can you send that to us?
Oh, I'm sure I can.
Yeah, it's really important that you do. We want to keep him from ripping people off.
Yep, and I just didn't know where else to reach out to let people know.
And I wish you would have gone to referralist.com. Man, in the future, if you go to referralist.com, even if you shop outside of that, at least get some real people with real prices and then get something to compare. Do you often use, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time, Keith. I appreciate you calling in with information. Do you often use Craigslist?
Circumstantially, I do. A lot of times I don't, but house cleaning, car detailing, stuff like that. I've had, found some really neat people.
All right. Well, Keith, thanks. I need you to talk to Daphne. Please don't hang up. I really want to get a copy of his license, his driver's license. I mentioned earlier with the snow, we're having a little setback here as far as the office, and we were late getting our people from Integra Insurance in, but they are in. And a simple yes or no. If people give information, can we at least give them an idea of premiums on stuff or not? Yes, no? An idea?
Well, so 2020 plans and rates aren't available yet.
They're not? Oh, okay.
And that would be in about a week or hopefully a week,
well,
but it
that's
could
fair.
be a couple weeks.
We probably should have had you in after that because a lot of people are wondering, am I paying too much? One woman, for example, well, you can tell maybe on private health insurance, she's 60. Her husband has Social Security, and this is Mary. She's paying $850 a month. That seems high for an individual plan, just off the cuff, but no?
Oh, that's about right. But good news, I mean, we are going to see about an 18.2% rate decrease on average across the state.
Why is that? And we're talking to John Jones, Jr. with Integra Insurance. Why is that?
It has to do with the reinsurance bill that was passed here in our state, where our state and the federal government, there's a pool of money that they're, for the next 2 years, are going to
Where'd that money come
help
from?
pay for. It's set aside for it's a pool that exists there.
From
that's
where?
set aside for this. There's several states who have applied for this. We're not the first.
Oh, it's a federal.
It's a federal
money.
thing, yes, sir.
And it comes from the federal government. Do we have to do Trump any favors? Just kidding. It's a joke, okay, people. It's a joke. Little poly humor. Okay.
So anyway, so it's there, and it's there for at least the next 2 years, in which things will be reevaluated. But for this year, it's going to bring down premiums about 18.2% on average. But it also depends on the area you live in, across the state.
Now, I talked about weather, and Mark and Suzanne didn't show up. And, you know, I have a little fun with that here and there. And one of the things was the voicemail Mark left. And, Mike, you have a comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that. Can you play that again?
Yeah, I can, but we're running out of time, so I'm going to bring you back if you have any specifics. But Mark and Suzanne, I think it's Mark left this message. It's his voice. He didn't want to get his toes wet and his Genesis wet. Yeah. Anyway, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Seriously, we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. If you've been hurt in an automobile accident or in any other way and you're wondering, is this what I have to...
Whatever happened to that? Oh, you don't have the... And you know what?
No, I can hear the baby.
Good morning.
Just laughing.
How are you?
Good. Like 100,000. Some other lady like 35,000.
So we can figure out premiums for supplement. I pulled up Cigna.
Oh, for Medicare?
Yeah, because a lot of people are asking about Medicare.
But that question was specifically to
Right, for that day. But for Medicare,
I heard it on the way in.
we can figure out somewhat for Medicare.
Was
So if you want, it's under.
I'll have to look back at my notes here just a second.
We keep track of all that. So.
Because there's a restaurant that got
I have time to run downstairs. I'm going to run downstairs. I don't care. Oh, I don't have a card. Can I borrow your card there, Dano? My card's at home. Of all days to leave it, I waited outside until somebody came in to let me know.
You can do for 2020.
He's here 153.
Johnny, if you want the information in that envelope, if you want to record it.
Oh yeah, you put 154, so yeah, so it would tell you what it is for 101.
Okay. But I've worked with Anthony, so we ordered over.
Up drive. Oh my gosh.
I don't think we've ever had a whole family here before.
Really, yeah, a small group.
Almost.
Yeah,
Well, I guess we're all a family, because Jared,
Oh.
he's married to a sister that my son.
I'm getting to the bottom of 285, and there's
after this.
His wife is the twin sister of our son's wife, our other son's wife.
There's a 400 in front of me and a semi kind of there in front of him, and
we're young
I wasn't complaining, I was just laughing about
fire
it.
truck and the car's off on the side, and everybody slows down. The semi tries to slow down. She just jackknifes. And the SUV, is swerving to try to, but still slides into the semi. And the semi is able to finally to straighten out. And
You're not going back up to the office.
What was it about yesterday with the 9-year-old?
I was just going to turn around at that point.
She was she cute? Yeah, she's cool.
I thought after that text, I was like,
I was down.
Oh yeah, really good
nothing
talker.
to do but
Yeah.
So when I was driving down, everybody
no,
going up, there were cars on just stopped everywhere and trucks, and like
she wasn't
nobody
shy.
could get up.
Apparently she's a good dancer.
Because I guess it was too
Yeah.
So I just made the decision, if I turn around, I might not even get back up, so let's hopefully give it time to...
So I'm driving on the road. I saw one
22 years of my life.
Where are they?
Retired.
The roads are still, there's every road down here, there was stuff on the road, every street I was on.
Johnny took care of my wife and I.
There's nothing.
Judy and I, you guys got us.
When did you get on 25?
I know we're Medicare Cigna.
There was
I went
nothing
to
on
it. I'm pretty sure it's
285?
F.
No.
That's the only thing with
There
the
was
F.
no-
Your premiums are going to be
You mean
going
no
up.
trucks
It's being
cleaning the road?
discontinued.
You warned us about that.
No
If
trucks
you
paying.
can
Well,
go
no,
down
there was
to
nothing put
an
down
M.
on 285. There was no
They won't
gravel.
let you go to the G.
There was no
down
anything put
underway.
down on 285.
And I think there was something.
There was just
Yeah,
nothing
or
but.
where's the
down
rice
to the
down
G.
here?
How come they won't let you go to G?
Because
They get rid of that too?
no, G's going to become the new F. But the G covers excess fees where the N doesn't.
Okay.
So your premium's cheaper on the N. Plus you have co-pays. You got to have a co-pay for your doctors and your specialists, so there are co-pays there. So these carriers, from what we see, are allowing people to go to the F to the N, but if you can't make it through the underwriting, they're probably not going to let you go to the G.
Well, I think I just we're all staying on the F, even if I have to pay the extra premium. Because I don't have to pay those co-pays.
I understand, but that premium could go outside.
The,
being discontinued.
well,
And your block is going to get narrower and
I
narrower.
have two doctors I have to see every month. I have to see my pain management doctor every month, and another one, so it started adding up, yeah.
Definitely, you get 24 co-pays a year.
Yeah, I'd have 24 co-pays a year.
And you'd be sad, but we'll look at the premium, because you might, how much is your F plan?
That describes the road conditions on some streets.
You know, I have so much I'm responsible for. Family. We have a big family, 5 kids and 16 grandkids, 4 great-grandkids.
You got a big family.
Yeah. But I'm responsible for car maintenance, everybody, home maintenance, that I don't do any paperwork. My wife has to take care of all. I don't know what our house payment is. I don't know. I ran 4 flights.
Seriously.
You're kind of like Johnny. I think you need some all that for the flight.
I took the elevator down, but I ran 4 flights up with coffee.
You did good. That little girl you had on yesterday,
Is she adorable?
She is adorable. Do you have a picture of her you can show Dave?
I think I have it.
What is
I mean,
it?
that little girl had a lot of poise.
Oh, she's so cute. It's such a good little girl.
What are you talking about?
Just some guest I had, common woman. You know what I say. Just as a joke, I call him common.
She's running for something. What is it?
She's Miss Preteen Colorado.
She's Preteen Colorado.
So here's her picture.
And she's running for
Who wants to see it?
Preteen National in on Thanksgiving.
She's going out to Los Angeles, right?
Right. Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim. Well, she'll have fun out there with Disneyland and everything.
That's why I'm sure they did.
Yeah. I think Disneyland's over.
I hate looking at report cards for my kids because I get pissed if they don't make a pro. No, they, I mean,
right. Epcot was
not anything under 97.
Of course, you pay a fortune.
Yes.
That's how people afford to do it.
I know it. Then if you go down there in the summer with all the lines and everything.
Okay, bro, you did good. We get report cards now almost really often.
You can access it.
Remember how it used to?
Yeah.
Well, they send me a notice, but they call it a progress report. But I think it's weekly.
Yep. My wife used to have to submit those online when she was a teacher.
If I may, that pain medication you were talking about yesterday, is that hemp related?
Oh, CBD.
Yeah, is that hemp related?
Yeah, but there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. No THC.
And it's really helped you?
Oh yeah.
Your shoulder?
No, I don't have a shoulder problem. I just overall little aches and pains. Yeah. I don't have anything acute anymore. My lower back comes as close to acute as you can get, but that's if I work out really hard. But it works. Yeah, it's real. And there's a sleep one they have too that's just really good. Where's my? It works really well.
That's everywhere.
How'd you find it?
How what?
How'd you find it?
I was looking for them, and then these were one of the many that approached us about advertising, and none of them worked, and this one did, and I thought, well, that's weird. So I contacted them. I really liked it, or like it. In fact, they have a commercial now. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, look for great products this hour brought to you by Panacea Life Sciences. They make CBD products right here in Colorado for the entire country, and they're pharmaceutical grade. They are. The labs, when they say 0 THC, you can take it to the bank. They also have products that have 0.03 or 0.3 CBD. But here's what I say, okay? It works, period. It works. It works for sleep, for stress, for pain. I have not found a better one. This is the one. When they contacted me with samples, it was like, ho-hum, same old thing, but it wasn't. And you have chewables like, they're chewables like a Rolaids or something like that, right? They have those chewables. Then they have tinctures or oil. They have in a gel cap. And then they have lotions or what they call creams. They have cherry bombs, which are like gummies. This is the real deal here. And you can find out more. Go to the website, panacealife.com or 1-800-985-0515, 800-985-0515. One of my bugaboos is health, because there are so many ripoffs in health. Oh, my God, so many. And I've said before, I love the idea of alternative medicine, although I very seldom have found anything in the alternative world that really does anything. I've said it before, I wish homeopathic remedies worked for me. They just don't. I try. And then I wish that, whatchamacallit works, acupuncture. I've never found any results. And now I will say there's something called kick-ass immunity. Now, that seems to have a really good thing. You spray it under your tongue, and that seems, I don't know what it has in it, a bunch of different stuff, but it seems to ward off stuff a bit. Okay, so let's talk. What's on your mind? Today we have experts talking about health insurance, which is very important, and we'll get to that. There are changes, some good, some bad. Then we're going to talk about Medicare and how people are so confused on what they should do there, whether you do a supplement or you do an advantage. And what is A, B, C, D, and E? You know, we can have a primer for you if you need it. All you have to do is ask. 303-713-TALK. Troy, let's talk, Troy. You called earlier. Refresh my memory here, Troy. What's happening?
Okay. Hey, Tom. I'm very small business, very new to business. I run a website, falcooutdoors.com.
Okay, I remember. Somebody ordered a bunch of stuff from you, and then it was charged back.
Correct.
Did they claim fraud?
Yeah, they did. So I was able to track down the person that actually received the product.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? How did you do that?
Well, I'm a cybersecurity engineer by nature, so.
How did you track? I mean, can you help us? No, I mean, did you simply trace where the delivery place dropped it off?
Correct. Yeah, use FedEx, got the tracking number.
Do you think that it corresponds with the people that ordered it?
Yeah, what was strange about this one was I opened up a case with the El Paso County Sheriff, and the deputy that worked the case, awesome guy. He contacted the police department in Delaware, and they actually went over to the guy's house.
I am shocked. I'm shocked that you actually had police in Delaware go to someone's house who ordered stuff and charged it back.
Yep.
And then what?
Come to find out that the guy that actually received the product forwarded it to the person that placed the order online. That person's in Indonesia, in Jakarta, Indonesia.
You know, I know what's happening. That person in Delaware was scammed as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but he
was probably responding. He probably responded to an ad to become a freight forwarder.
Well, I think he has a relationship with the person in Indonesia, because as soon as I tracked him down, got the police involved, he was very cooperative.
So what did they do? Did they let the charge go through, or what happened? What's the end result?
Well, so the end result on this case was MasterCard clawed back the money.
Good.
Well, good for the cardholder badge for me.
Wait.
because-
Claude back. I thought you meant that they reversed the chargeback when you say they clawed it because they took it out of your account. I thought you meant they put it back. So they're not
No.
siding. After all of this, they're not siding with you?
No, because when I did the research on my transactional data, the AVS, the address verification system, was a negative, so that the credit card address did not match the billing address. So based on that, MasterCard says, all right, sorry.
I don't understand what you're saying. Right now, where does it stand? The money, how much was the total order?
$1,247.
Right now, $1,200 or $12,000?
$1,200.
$1,200 right now has been taken out of your account, and after an investigation, it remains charged back. You can't get the money. Okay, you can still
can't get the money, but guess what?
What?
So talking to the guy in Delaware, the freight forwarder, because he does live in a very nice house, and I believe he is not a U.S. citizen.
Did you pressure him? Is he paying you?
Oh, he paid me.
Hot damn! You know what?
Well,
what?
Well, so I had the same thing happen in California with another order. So I'm tracking down all the information on that guy. My chances of recouping on that order are going to be a lot less.
What can merchants do to keep this from happening? Really, there's not much you can do.
No, what I'm being told is that as a merchant, what I have to do is get a signature verification. So have the card holder sign for the product. So that's very difficult when you go through FedEx, UPS, or the postal service.
Listen, I want to say something though, because I just mentioned a little bit about this, and you and I just assume people know what we're talking about with freight forwarding. But I do need to say this, and I'll let you finish with what you need. But people, you may see an ad saying freight forwarding position available, and they offer to pay you money. And they tell you some cockamamie story that they're, for some reason, not able to get direct shipments and that you have to help them. And here's what they tell you. We will be having stuff delivered to your home. All we ask is that you pack it up and send it to us. The us are usually out of the country, or in every case we looked at, they're out of the country. So then the people out of the country make an order online, have it delivered to a U.S. address. So the merchant fulfills the order. The stuff's delivered to a U.S. address. Then it's forwarded to a guy out of the country. The charges are then disputed, saying this is fraud, because they really are fraud. When they try to find the guy that perpetrated the fraud, they usually end up going to where the stuff was delivered. And because the stuff was delivered to some dupe, that dupe ends up, saying, hey, it isn't mine, I can't help it. And so the guy that really perpetrated the fraud gets away with it. In this case, Troy is saying they possibly had a connection. I don't know if they did or not, but I will say this. There have been many, many people stung by being a so-called freight forwarder. Now, I'll come back to Troy if he has a specific question, but I also want to get our people thinking on Pat's question during the break. So, Pat, what is your question quickly? We'll answer it after the break. What are you calling about?
Tom, I have Kaiser, and I am considering changing. I had Humana in the past, and I'm considering going back to Humana. And I just want to know what your gentleman there, what his issues are.
All right, hold on. It's a great question, because I often ask this. Does it matter who the carrier is, really, in today's world? Does it really matter? And that's a good question. We'll talk about it, because is it just price really we want? Now, let's say, for example, the coverages are similar. Don't you just go by price? Or does it actually matter?
Negative about the new carrier, right?
Sheridan.
Sure. Negative about it.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of that. You also have to ask, is he talking about Medicare or is he talking about health insurance?
It's today Wednesday,
I got
Thursday.
on his Medicare.
Today's Thursday, guys, right? Yeah.
They should know that this. It all boils down to freedom of choice, as we all know. Allowing the guy to use fraud, and he told this guy.
And it also depends on his health, and you can't get him talking about his health on radio, right?
Yes, we can. If he wants to, we can.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they
They
talk about anything they want. If he doesn't want to, fine.
If you're looking at a supplement versus a plan.
Yeah.
I
just had something.
I'm assuming he's going to.
I agree. I'm thinking the same.
I got a spot coming up, which means complete silence as soon as I turn the mic on. When you hear that thing go dead. Sheridan Auto Tech is an automobile repair shop that you can trust. People have been trusting for 20 years. He has thousands of satisfied customers. You know, Kevin likes long-term customers like a family, and he does treat them like that. He'll give you recommendations. He'll give you stuff he thinks is mandatory. He'll do your regular maintenance. He has Lakewood location on Colfax, just west of Wadsworth, and then on Havana in Aurora, and that's just south of 6th Avenue. 2 convenient locations. SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242. Okay.
And then what you look at, obviously, when I do talk about Medicare supplements.
I don't mind buying these. You know, Deb, I don't mind buying these for folks' lunch, but I'm wondering if anybody will deliver today.
John's buying lunch.
Oh, I was going to buy. Oh, I was buying lunch. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll order Jimmy John's peanut.
We're going to buy lunch.
Oh, okay, I was going to buy lunch.
No, we're going to buy it, Tom.
We just.
Hi, Tom. If you don't mind if we get Jimmy John's.
I don't mind what you do. No, we love anything.
And I'll bring barbecue next.
Jimmy John's might be a little slower today than normal.
Well, we're freaky fast.
Not so big.
Okay, they did say, I didn't know that. I offered to buy, but they said Jimmy John's would be great.
If you don't mind, then we'll bring barbecue.
I love it. You don't have to bring anything.
We were thinking near the end of the show so we can go downstairs because they're having a little meeting with you.
I don't care. Any way we do it, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Show's on 2 o'clock. You're pretty hungry by then.
Yeah.
We ought to pass a paper around the table. Who wants what?
Do we have like a... What does? Jared's going to smoke. Are you smoking at 1:30?
Yes.
Well, get the. What about the?
They don't. Jimmy John's doesn't have meatball sub, do they? I don't know.
What about just bread?
Concrete to repair it. Concrete can be repaired.
So I did that. I did this.
Lift basement floors. They can repair cracks. Cracker Jack mud jacking. Free estimate. Cracker Jack mud jacking can take care of all
Right here, I'll pass this around.
I just don't understand why it
Right, what you want on it?
Well, I gotta find out if they even make it.
Panacea Duran.
I'm in the middle of implant implants.
Why am I short?
Just I can't eat with these. These are just for looks. So, but I'll find out.
Everywhere else, we're pricing at $10,000 or more.
No breads? Yeah.
Are you, but he's not taking orders, is he?
No, he's just passing it around to wherever wants the rest. Then we'll go with Daphne. Daphne will make the part.
We need to make sure
I don't think it's called an Italian nightclub anymore, but there are
No, I'm not doing the nightclub.
Right. It's not even called that anymore, I don't think.
Oh, you're doing with Swiss cheese, right?
Yeah.
They can fix ACL tears, for example, with a needle instead of a knife. You've heard me talk about stem cells, and I urge you to go to medical
I like it.
who really know what they're doing that harvest stem cells on site. So if you're ever
So Tom,
at a
with
clinic
that,
where they say they're
with that reinsurance, the money's coming from Ford.
When you talk about reinsurance, what does that term
It's coming,
mean?
so that means that the government, federal and state, they are helping cover the cost of the highest claims in our state. So
is
they're
it a
taking
high risk?
yeah, so they're taking those claims off the books of the insurance companies, so the insurance companies can lower their premiums for everyone else.
And that's what they're doing with that extra money.
Yeah. And a lot of it comes from the general fund, at least for the next 2 years.
Back up to this whole.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think Paul's doing it.
This may not have automatic.
Indeed.com. The first snow of the season today.
It's going to have a major impact.
At least for 2 years.
Especially if they don't get tax credit.
Dan, look at this and make sure. And then you can pass it around. Or give it to Daphne.
Ham and cheese, Swiss, yeah, that's what I want. By Tom. Go, yep. Daphne, we want. Just had it over today.
Online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire.
Here, I'll pass it around.
Tom and Dan. This is on which
yeah, very good.
This is Clinton. Here you go. I appreciate that, John. We don't expect that necessarily when you come in, but we certainly appreciate it. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. So Pat has some questions on and it's a really hot topic. I need to know why open enrollment. Now, open enrollment is the same, meaning there is an open enrollment all over the country. Is that right?
That is correct.
Or why do they confine changes to health insurance to a specific time of the year? Why is that?
Well, one, they want insurers to be insured all year long.
Well, I understand that, but why if I just want to make a change, why open enrollment? I don't understand.
Well, it keeps the insurers insured. And so if you were...
Okay, but years ago, we never had open enrollment.
Correct.
If I wanted health insurance, I bought it. If I wanted to drop it, I dropped it. If I wanted to change it, I changed it. Did Obamacare confine it to a certain period of time?
Yes. In the Affordable Care Act, he did. There's a lot of reason behind it because, it is guaranteed issue. Pre-existing conditions do not exist. So if a person in March gets hurt and needs care, they can't just jump on insurance because that risk is really high for the insurance companies. You kind of follow me with
so they wanted everyone to jump on board at the same time to have the aggregate money and risk all together.
Correct.
At the same time.
Yes, exactly.
And also, then, the only time you can do stuff outside of open enrollment is when?
When you have an SEP, which is a qualifying event, special enrollment period.
And that's for what?
That's
life-changing events, they call it.
Right, involuntary loss of coverage. So they, divorces, jobs.
What if I move across
Colorado?
Okay. Yes. All right. So everyone, we're talking to Integra Insurance. They're on the referral list. What is your question, Pat? Welcome. And by the way, Troy and Mike, we haven't forgotten about you. So hang on. Go ahead, Pat.
First of all, Tom, I want to thank you for all you've done for the people of Colorado. You helped my daughter out years ago, and you're a great guy, Tom.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. At any rate, I'll give you a little background. I'm 78 years old. I had good health up until about a year ago. I have some issues now, and I just wanted to make sure that if I get the Advantage plan, if I switch, I cannot be denied. Is that true?
Now, okay, yeah, we can talk about that. First of all, can people switching from A and B to Advantage, can they be rejected?
So from switching from one Advantage plan to another, there is certain clauses of how your health is. End-stage renal disease, you cannot switch from Medicare Advantage.
Certain ones you can't switch.
Correct.
But so there are pre-existing conditions to an extent.
To an extent. So if
hold on a sec. We'll get Pat. We'll get to all of your questions. I'll get to every one of your questions. In some cases, they can count a pre-existing condition. Well, you said switching from one Advantage to another. What about from regular Social Security to Advantage? Same thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what about can you go from Advantage back to regular Social Security?
Yes, you can go back from Advantage to a supplement to Medicare A and B. All right.
And by the way, supplements are not required if you want to go with A and B. It's silly not to have one.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
But to get a supplement, you do after a 7-month period of when you turn 65, right? After that 7th period, you are underwritten. So if you have some kind of pre-existing condition, depending on the carrier, some carriers accept others, right? You cannot switch to a supplement plan from Advantage to supplement.
Okay. Okay. Now, Pat, go with any questions you have.
Okay, Tom, I want to know if the gentleman there has any thoughts on Kaiser as opposed. Right now, I have Kaiser. I'm considering Humana, and I wonder if it's what his thoughts are.
Well, so Kaiser and Humana are completely different. Kaiser is their own facilities, their own doctors. They are an HMO product. You are only in the state of Colorado, except in an emergency nationwide, whereas Humana gives you a little bit more freedom of choice because they do have a PPO plan, which is regional across the nation. So they are completely different. Some people like Kaiser because it is a one-stop shop. However, Humana is a little bit more of a freedom where you do not need to have a referral to see a specialist if you decide to go with the PPO. Humana also offers an HMO product as well.
Does that make sense, Pat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that.
What do you have right now, Pat? What do you have right now?
I have Kaiser right now.
Okay. Do you like it?
Here, I live up north, here, and it's a little inconvenient.
Okay.
And Humana is more convenient.
But I wanted to know, though, did you like it, though, as far as excluding the convenience? How do you like the health care from Kaiser?
It seemed, it's been okay. I was hospitalized, and it cost me quite a bit out of pocket, but I suppose that would be true with Humana also. So, but other than the inconvenience and the doctors and all that,
okay,
I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Pat. I want to ask something in general. When I was turning of age, considering what options I should do on Medicare, Johnny, your dad said I would go with A and B and a supplement. He didn't even think about it. He did not like Advantage. Now, he said in my circumstance. Why? Well, any of you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Big John, you want to answer, Big John? You can just, we got it. Yeah, just get close to the microphone.
Yeah, Tom, the major advantage over a Medicare supplement plan versus an advantage to me is that choice of doctors.
Okay.
Because once again,
with Advantage, you don't have a choice?
You put more into a network.
Okay. All right.
So you're seeing their doctors, their hospitals inside that network.
Right.
In my case, because I picked this up too.
Yeah.
Because I want to know that if God forbid as I get older.
Yeah.
I have complete freedom of choice, or anybody that takes original Medicare, which is roughly 93% of providers in this country, take original Medicare.
So you're not limited.
Correct.
All
and
right.
I might find a specialist that inside of a network might not be as good as one outside the network.
All right. So, I mean, choice is really a good answer. But I want to ask you something then. With Advantage, are there advantages? Let's say your doctors are in that group. Is it more advantageous, Advantage, if the doctors you want are there? Other than choice, do you pay less out of pocket with Advantage?
So with Advantage, you're forfeiting over your A and B, right, to the carrier. Now, they make their own plan.
Well, you're forfeiting it, but you're not paying anymore. You pay the same.
Right, you're paying, yes, exactly.
Okay.
You still have to pay that A and B, right, or the B.
And by the way, for those listening, you do pay for A and B. People think Medicare is free. What they do is they take it out of your benefit. So when you get your benefit, it's paid. If you don't have your benefit, if your benefits are delayed, you have to make that payment. All right, then what?
Correct, and that's actually Part B. You're making the payment. A is free.
Okay.
So the whole point of Medicare Advantage is when you forfeit that over, you are giving the carrier choice of what they want to do with their either a deductible, which most Medicare Advantage plans do not have a deductible. Most of them are co-pays. But the max out of pocket is much larger than what you say that you have. So Part G, your max out of pocket for medical expenses under usual and customary through Medicare is $185. Whereas if you go Medicare Advantage, a couple of them this year are $6,700.
Okay.
There's a huge difference there.
I don't know why anyone wants Advantage. Technically, I don't know why.
Well, it's cheaper. So a lot of these plans.
Oh, cheaper. What do you mean? How cheaper? Because you're not paying for a supplement.
The premiums are $0. Most of them.
Zero. Well,
you're still paying for your Part B, but they are $0 premiums. But you also got to recognize that.
I don't understand $0. So they take out $300 and something from my benefit to pay for my Medicare.
Correct.
Right now. Okay.
Right.
So if I went to Advantage, they wouldn't take that out?
They still take out the Part B, no matter what.
Okay.
All right, but
so what's $0?
So this, you know how you're paying extra for your supplement?
Yeah.
Medicare Advantage is $0.
I get what you mean. All right. So I hope that you have your questions answered. You can call us with any specific questions at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jared, you were analyzing this woman who is paying like $800 a month on an individual plan, I think. Or no, Johnny said that doesn't seem out of whack. Then you were also on the supplement that they were paying.
Right. So I was with Rick, and
they were paying, his parents were paying about $230 each a month for a supplement.
Correct. And so I was trying to get information of what kind of supplement they were receiving.
But it seemed high to you.
It seemed high, especially for the benefits that they were receiving. He told me a $75,000 bill that the supplement only paid $1,900.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So he's going to get that information to me. He doesn't have it.
So if you have any questions on coverages, guys, give us a call as well. 303-713-TALK. Then really quick, there was one thing that Big John brought up, said we all need to know about. Some law, some act. What is it? What is the act?
It's a MACRA bill.
Okay, is this going to be highly technical? It's called MACRA?
It's MACRA, which stands for Medicare Access Children's Hospital Insurance Reauthorization Act.
Jeez.
It was passed at the end of 2015.
All right, well, we're going to get into it. So it's called
MACRA.
MACRA.
Yeah.
MACRA. Okay. And people, if you have kids, you're going to want to know about it. Just hang on. And then I will get back to the charge back from Troy. And Mike is having horrible issues with a crazy house next door.
This is...
Okay, I want you to say that slower. It's Medicaid. I know. I want to know what it
Primarily
stands
for Medicare.
I know.
That's how we're doing it. Not so much for children.
I'm sorry. So what does it stand for?
It's Medicare Access.
The prescription drug formulary.
Children Hospital Insurance Reauthorization Act. So I would assume they'll probably reauthorize chips, you know, for the kids. But we use it with Medicare because it's doing away with the F and the C and the HDF.
Yeah, nobody will understand that. So can you say it in a way that everyone will understand?
What do you mean?
What is this MACRA? What was so important about it? What's important about it?
I mean, that F and C.
What is F and C?
So those are the plans, supplement plans. So you have a supplement plan G.
We have a G.
Then there's Plan F and a Plan C. And Plan F is
going away. What about C? What is C?
C is the same as the F, but it doesn't cover excess fees.
Yeah.
No one gets it.
And that's another thing.
So those are just two plans that are going away.
Centeno. Yeah, gotcha.
Then you got your brand new card, right?
Okay, hold up.
You got it.
You know, we're talking about healthcare today. Centeno Schultz is somebody that I recommend for living stem cell therapy if you want to go that way. Now, no insurance pays for stem cells right now. They will pay for the evaluation, which is an examination to see what's wrong with you. You know, you have to call Centeno Schultz for details, but I will say this. If you're going to get stem cell therapy, don't waste your hard-earned money outside of insurance. Don't waste money with people who don't actually provide living stem cells. And that's most every single doctor and chiropractor that advertises umbilical cord and amniotic fluid, because that stuff brought into a clinic cannot sustain living stem cells. To make a long story short, go to one of their seminars and educate yourself. You know, my colleague Clint here went. His pain was reduced 80%, and they had an alternative therapy other than stem cells. So it's a real clinic for pain. Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201. That's Centeno Schultz, 963-9201.
My sister had her knee done there yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, huh?
Stephanie's having an MRI today for her shoulder.
My wife's been there.
You know, it's a shame you have to go into MRI just for a shoulder. I mean, you would think that they have like donuts to get the body part you need without having to go in that frickin' torpedo.
Yeah, but they have the open-ended ones.
Well, that's the ones I use. I never have been in a. I won't go to one.
I hated it.
I will never go in one, ever.
It's pretty close.
And it sounds like a jackhammer going off.
And, but I mean, you're right. Like this, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how anyone does it.
I've been in them. They're very claustrophobic. I didn't close my eyes. I'm not claustrophobic.
Close your freaking eyes. That doesn't help me. I know I'm in there.
Just get me out of here as quick as you can.
Is that loud though? Huh?
It's a
jackhammer.
I mean, I am baffled by those who can do it, especially if you're uncomfortable.
So she came in to tell you that Mandy's late, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanted to
grab
make
it.
sure.
Give me a set of headphones.
You know, we ought to order a little earlier because of the weather.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We can order it. It's ready.
Johnny wants to tell.
It doesn't matter who, it's just as long as you can see what's.
Meatball.
There is no meatball.
There's no meatball.
No, it ain't. Whatever. I'll figure it out.
Tom and Dan want an
The same.
Right.
Johnny wants an unwitch.
No, I don't.
Well, it's
Johnny
it's
can
written
eat
here.
real bread. Look at him.
I don't want an unwitch.
Here, I have you come down. Sorry.
Okay, we'll be fine.
RV, bet you go to the internet, everyone does, but they end up here at Century RV, north of I-25.
I did write all that. Who wrote that?
Here, let me see. Who wrote what?
Unwitch on there.
Unwitch. That's it. First of all, it's Italian nightclub Unwitch. It's called. Yeah.
Well, no, but mine's not. I don't want mine to be an unwitch.
But this is for Clint.
Oh, okay.
So this was for Clint. What's that? Yours an Unwitch, right?
I'll do an Unwitch too.
Yeah, you have that down already.
No, I had a meatball because she said there wasn't one.
It says Italian nightclub, Clint. You wrote that down with your own handwriting. You wrote Italian nightclub Unwitch. You never wrote meatballs.
Nope, I wrote meatball stuff right now.
Okay, we'll cross that one out. But you also have.
Dan has an Unwitch.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
no, we crossed that one
Sorry, that
out.
was the only.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
add
a small piece of paper. I apologize.
Clint, do you have an Italian nightclub on there or not?
No, there's one on here, but it wasn't mine.
That's Johnny's.
Oh, John Jr. says, yeah. Does she have everything she needs?
You know what I would do?
And on the back.
Because
of
this
it,
looks like a
it reads
retard
John.
test. I would just simply take a
John
frickin'
said
piece of paper and write them down.
Yeah, where's a better piece of paper? Does anybody have a bigger piece of paper?
God, here, just give them a real piece of paper.
There we go. I got it.
What's your name and what you want?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
really,
good
let's
idea.
make
Put
it
the
easy
name.
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's pretty good.
And Jared said he had to go to an appointment.
I'll do ours. I got to get to
Here early.
this.
What time do you have to leave?
We have a lot of questions on
You have to leave
Medicaid.
at 3?
Yeah, it's dawning, you know. Yes, yes.
Well, you know what, though? Here's a lot of stuff. If stuff is going away, like F and all this, who frickin' cares, is what I'm saying. Is that...
Here's the problem, though. There's no
Me, I have that.
65-year-olds going into that block anymore.
Well, I understand that, but my audience that is affected by that is a minuscule part of the audience. I want to talk to the masses. We really can't talk in such a way that people are just going to roll their eyes and tune out.
Are we done with Troy?
Ask him if he has any more issues, and I'll take them.
Well,
Well,
the Unwitch.
it's not whether or not I have any, it's whether I want to devote the time to it. If I have,
Whatever Tom.
most of my audience is 45 to 60, 45 to 50, 55,
Is that your
45
primary?
to 55,
You
yeah.
have a lot of seniors because you got a lot of phone calls.
Well, we do, but it's programming more than information. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying we got to really make
I'm
it
getting Sam's
palatable.
Okay. Ham and
Then don't bring up the macros.
Same thing.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Does Troy have another issue?
does-
Okay, so
Yes, he
Troy
does.
had the charge back, and it's a really difficult situation, but basically, somebody ordered a bunch of stuff. It went to an address. That address forwarded it outside of the country. He got pissed off and pressured the guy that took the delivery, suspecting he was in on it. And by the way, that guy could have been an innocent dupe as well who thought he was getting a job freight forwarding. Whatever it was, he paid Troy back. And now, Troy, what is your other issue, if any?
Yeah, I've got another case where
In California.
In California.
How much?
So, $1,500.
Okay, and where did the stuff go?
It went to Compton.
And then did he
I've got
forward it?
Well, I've got the name of the person who actually signed for the package.
Yeah.
So this one went by the Postal Service, and the person that received the package actually signed for the package.
Okay.
And I have not been able to track down the contact information yet, but I've got their name, the address where the package was sent. Once I get all that contact information, I need your thoughts on invoicing that person at that address.
Yeah, this is what I want to tell you. That this is called Quantum Marriott. And I'm just telling you from past experience. I'm not going to give you legal advice, but here's what I would do. I know the guy got of value. Quantum Marriott means you've benefited. Therefore, you got something. You can't, if you don't want it, send it back. But you're not going to keep it and not pay for it. Okay, so now you have, for example, in this case, X amount of dollars worth of stuff. If the credit, and this is a mistake a lot of people make, credit card determination is not a legal determination of obligation. If a credit card company decides to honor a chargeback, it doesn't mean you don't owe the money. So if I buy something and I charge it back and the credit card company agrees with me, I can't use that as evidence if you come after me for payment. All you have to show is that I got it and I either pay or I send it back. I mean, so I can't say to the judge, well, the credit card company says I don't owe it, so I don't owe it. So what you're doing is right. You invoice the guy. You absolutely do. As if you never even heard of the credit card thing. You invoice him for the exact amount of that stuff plus shipping. And if he doesn't pay you, you go after him just like anyone else.
Right. So even if he wasn't the one that actually placed the order on the website.
It's Quantum Marriott. Did you get it? He got the stuff. That's all that matters. He got the stuff. We've had cases where a tenant ordered a roof. The roofer starts the roof. The landlord sees it and does nothing about it because the landlord thinks he's got him over a barrel. The landlord says at the end, ha ha, I never ordered it. Well, you got it and it improved your house and you're going to pay. Now, in the case where the landlord doesn't find out about it and it's still happening, we have had cases where people still can get paid for the benefit. It's crazy, but it can happen. We've had cases where it was done by mistake on another house, and they negotiated a payment because it was a benefit. I know that's weird. It's a weird area of law. The fact that you got something of value, you pay for it. Where you can get out of it, and this is where you have to really be sneaky. What is something of value? If your roof was in perfect condition, you can argue you got nothing of value. You see, you traded like value. If it's only when you had something that you actually needed and you got it. I guess a roofer could be really sneaky and go around and find old roofs and start replacing them and demanding payment. I mean, I don't think that would happen, but I don't know. It gets weird. 303-713-8255. That really is a good topic. Chargebacks on credit cards. Mike is having horrible issues with a crazy house next door or next to his business. What's going on, Mike?
Hi, Tom. I'm going to put my wife on because she was at the house.
And what's her name? What's her name?
Her name is Debbie, and she's my business partner.
All right, Debbie, what's going on?
Hi. Well, we own an apartment building in Lakewood.
Okay.
We've been having ongoing problems with another apartment building that is adjacent to us.
All right, so it's one apartment building versus another. What is going on with this other apartment building?
Well, the police are there often 3 or 4 times a week. This has been going on for over a year, and there's a couple of tenants that are very disruptive, ranting and raving all the time. And yesterday, the police showed up again, kind of like routine. I happened to be there doing some work on our property, and they ended up bringing in a SWAT team. They evacuated the building. My tenants were not allowed to leave or enter our building. They had to go down the street. They had the streets blocked off. And for 3 or 4 hours, there was a standoff with a tenant.
Now, for argument's sake, let's say everything you're saying is true. This building sucks. The enforcement is lax. And for lack of a better word, it's a nuisance. By the way, this is what the original nuisance laws around the country are designed to do, designed to stop stuff like this. They misuse it in Denver. I don't want to get into that right now, but here's the point, is that nuisance laws are supposed to say to a landlord, if you have bad tenants and it's disrupting the neighborhood, we're going to declare you a nuisance and take it over. We're going to sell it, or we're going to auction it off, or we're going to... I'm telling you that this gets serious if the landlord is aware and does nothing. So hold on, and we'll address that coming right up. Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta put mine on. Okay, got it. No, that's great. Thank you, Day. So, John, I wasn't saying we shouldn't talk about it. I just don't want to get into minutia.
Okay, the only thing to make it good and simple, because everybody, all your clients are here because they're looking to save money. Correct?
Exactly. And they want good coverage.
Yep. So all they have to do is, to keep it simple, is look at your card. If it's an F or a C, you may want to go down to a G, because what you're saving premium will more than offset the $185, and put about $300 to $600.
I got a spot coming up here. Okay. You know, you missed the opportunity before the rush. People right now are calling like crazy for no heat, low heat, thermostat's not working. But here, I want you to call with any issue, Fix It 24/7, a company you can trust for plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. And of course, it's worth the wait. Now, if you have an urgent situation, they'll try to get you in, but here's the bottom line. They do want to be your company for now and the future. So give them a call. I'm not going to mention any specials right now, but they won't ever charge more than $39 to find a problem. And they just have to fit you in when they can, and I think they can get you in. Here's the other thing. They're just good people. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. 720-526-3939. And free second opinions for replacements of water heaters and furnaces and panels. 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com.
Look at this. Why are you on your phone? We have dinner reservations.
Are you leaving?
For life insurance or
I have to give her my credit card.
Oh.
Okay. I have to give my
friend told me.
Oh, okay.
It's a new
I
straightforward
can get that. I wanted to give you this. This was Pat that called, and I gave him your number too. I suggested, he was the one who said Humana or Kaiser, and I said, you really should have you guys do the apples and or apples to apples. And so he said, oh, that's a great idea. So he's going to do that.
And, all right, we'll go. And in most cases, no medical exams. It's perfect for us.
Can we apply right now?
Why not? And after dinner, maybe we can celebrate.
You know what? Ethos is perfect for us. Ethos is ethical term life insurance. Straightforward and super fast. Don't put it off. Go to ethoslife.com.
Everybody left.
For a free instant quote now. ETHOSLife.com. That's ethoslife.com.
It is complicated. I'm going to do it in 2 years, so.
It's very complicated.
When they do it, like I said, because I won't hit my Social Security till 66 and a half, what's the best way to pay them? Do they do credit cards, or do they just do directly take it out?
So usually when you don't take Social Security, you pay quarterly.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can pay, that's a good question. You get a bill. You get a direct bill.
Okay, gotcha.
If you do it quarterly. Was that?
So it's usually not automatic withdrawal.
You can do automatic withdrawal.
Set it up that way.
Mine was auto withdrawal, and then they said, we're no longer going to withdraw, we're taking it out of your pay.
Right, take it out, and that's what they do, they take it out of your
benefit.
Security if you're getting Social Security.
Correct.
That's right. If you don't, then you pay it, just like any premium.
And you can do an EFT with them.
I'm sorry?
Automatic.
Okay.
You know what? Medicare has been the smoothest organization to deal with for anything. I am shocked.
Remember, they got a whole bunch of people, and they pretty much have to take it.
I'm just talking about how
But
cool they are to
because
deal
it's
with.
a government function, right?
Man,
You're saying that.
but usually it's not. Motor vehicle and all those suck.
Right.
This
right.
is they're so overly nice and attentive, and they get back to you, and the follow up is. And then they follow stuff up with an email or a regular mail telling what you just did, and somebody really did a good job with that.
I agree with that. I agree. And the same with Social Security.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The whole thing.
The Medicare and Social Security. But like I say, if you get in the IRS or if you get in those other ones, no, it's not so.
Man, I worked my ass off for the benefits, and I never thought no one ever thinks, here's what we used to say when we were doing financial planning. Well, that won't, by the time I get there won't be any Social Security. People were telling me that when I was younger.
Well, Medicare, they didn't do a very good job of funding it.
Medicare?
Funding it, yeah. Well, Medicare's
How are they paying for it then?
Well, it's almost broke, right?
Well, the macro bill, they took out a lot of money for the Affordable Care Act. So I think billions of dollars from Social Security. So it's fine. It's sturdy. I mean, they're paying. When you go to Medicare Advantage, they're paying about $1,200 to the carrier a month for each individual. So they're doing fine. Well, to what we know.
Who's they are paying?
Medicare. Medicare's paying the insurance company $1,200.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The
federal government.
Not the government. Medicare is having. I mean, that's the funding that's low, huh?
That's not what they're still okay. That's not what we're hearing.
Because, like I said,
they took out a lot of money for the macro bill. They did, and for the Affordable Care Act in 2015. There's a lot of billions of dollars. I don't know the exact number, but it was billions of dollars.
What do you think the chances of somebody in Compton paying that bill?
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Okay, now, have a building next to you where everything is going wrong, you can take civil action, actually, if it's costing you money by losing tenants and all of that. But I would lean on law enforcement. Now, Mike, or Mike and Debbie, really, that's all you can do is go to city authorities to see if they can do something against the owner, or you take civil action against the owner.
We've done that. Here's the kicker.
Have you filed a lawsuit for economic losses against the apartment building owner for negligence?
No, we have not yet. But here is the kicker. The building.
And I'm going to let you continue. But please, please, don't dismiss what I'm saying, because you think, oh, well, yeah, sure. If you literally filed a lawsuit, for negligence and economic losses, even if you can't get it all together in discovery, that owner will never take the time ever to try to make you prosecute it. They will do whatever they can to settle it. I'm telling you, it's going to be your most powerful weapon. Now, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I mean, the kicker is that it's owned by the Jefferson Center for Mental Health. And about And about a year ago, we finally had enough, and so I did some research, and it was kind of difficult to trace it all down. But they are the owner on record, and I, looked up their site, and after a lot of phone calls, I finally found someone that knew about the building. They do a lot of things. The housing aspect is one of it. So they have 4 properties, is what I learned. And they paid $2.1 million for this property. They had a tax lien on it for the 2 years, I think 16 and 17. It's not for profit. And when we finally got a hold of the management, we had a sit down and a powwow, and they're very apologetic, and they're trying to do whatever they can. Assured us they have people on site. They're supposed to have therapists on site. And every time that we talk to them, they just say there's nothing we can do. These people have no other place to go. It's Section 8 that they inherited.
You have, now I can see where you have a very, very hard case here, because it's not like just some slumlord saying, hey, just as long as they pay the rent, I don't care. This is owned by a nonprofit agency for people with mental problems. I mean, golly. I don't know if there is a solution here except to work with them. I don't know. I mean,
They need to work with us, Tom.
I don't think you can sue. I mean, I think you can sue them, but I don't think you're going to go anywhere. You got a nonprofit organization trying to help people with mental disabilities.
Right. Well,
have you actually met with the organization?
Yes, we had to sit down with
maybe they listen. Maybe they would buy your property or manage it.
Our property?
Yeah.
It's not for sale.
Okay. Is it? We
don't want them managing. They can't manage the one they have.
Well, maybe you can take over theirs. What I'm getting at is this: is your property? Was it purchased for a cash flow, a land bank, and an equity play? What was it? Are you actually making good money on your investment, or was it purchased for resale in the future, or both?
No, it's just we get income from it. It's our sole income.
Okay.
And you know, it's.
Is your income being affected?
Yes, because every time we have a vacancy, we don't know if the police are going to be there. They're there so often, and there's one.
No, what I'm asking is, have you ever lost someone because of it?
Yes. Yes, I mean we know that, and the tenants that we have, you know, eventually they're going to, you know, just say enough is enough.
This is a normal risk of any investment. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
It sucks. It sucks. I know. Listen, I don't know what to tell you other than it really does suck. I mean, if you've already talked to the ownership, the management, the board, whatever, and addressed this, do they say, no, we refuse to do anything at all to help the situation?
Well, they say that there's no place for these people to go.
I understand, but do they have a resident manager? What do they have?
Well, they say they do, but they're never there. Yesterday, the SWAT team was there for 4 hours. The building was evacuated. We kept trying to call the management.
Does anyone have an idea? Because I'm serious. A civil lawsuit's the only thing I can think of. But then again, it's not like you're hitting anyone personally who's going to want to do anything. Listen, Daphne, let's call this organization. Seriously, they have to have some accountability, okay, in a neighborhood. I think maybe you get concerned people from your building together and be represented at one of these meetings. Hold on.
10 minutes till your next shot.
God, I just sell it. People fall in love with bricks.
She needs money. They need the income. They like the income.
But they can buy another place.
You might even be living there.
Then I'd really sell it. So people fall in love with property, and it's just to me, it's an investment. You sell it, you buy something else.
Yeah, in fact, you could do the like kind without any.
Yeah, they do a 1031 exchange. You wouldn't pay any taxes.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done. You got to find somebody who wants that building, and it might affect them, you know.
Well,
here's
a lot of
the
buyers
deal.
wouldn't know the problem.
Why do you think they care so much?
I'll bet you they're living there also.
No, they didn't sound like that. I mean, they could.
I'll bet you they're on site. That's their income.
You think so?
I think she said she was over there though. She said she happened to be over there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
I've never had any property I was so much in love with that I wouldn't sell it. I'll just buy something else. I think Tom's idea is subsume them. I think I'd go through with it even if it wasn't on profit.
The only thing she has to definitely show her losses.
Yeah. She claimed people left. Probably could do it in small claims.
And then you have to show that they left and that you had like a vacancy for a month or something, or what, that's your losses.
It'll be hard to prove because people need places so bad right now.
Boy, isn't that, God, I just cannot believe the price of houses and what they're doing there.
And the rent.
Isn't it funny? If somebody lives in a $350,000 home, you think, oh, so you can't afford a good home.
Yeah.
So I just seen up in Georgetown, I was looking at this guy, Joe Rogers, his address up in Georgetown was sold in 2006 for $167. Now they say it's worth $500. And that's up in Georgetown, which is not a nice town. Not that nice of a town.
It went from 160 to 500?
Yeah.
Why in the hell?
That's been 13 years.
Oh, 13 years, okay. You know, people bought stuff in Central City that thought they were going to make a killing. There's still some crappy stuff sitting there.
Right, but But Central City and Blackhawk are now doing things. They're putting in a big bike path, a mountain bike path that'll probably bring stuff up. But Central City just didn't have the access, and that's why all the big casinos went to Blackhawk.
And parking's a problem.
Oh, they just put up a really nice parking
Yeah, I've
garage
seen
now.
some parking garages going in there.
Right in.
Yeah, that's where we go. A few years ago, we found that was the best place to go for fireworks.
Oh yes, yes.
They have the competition between Blackhawk and Central City right beside each other. That's awesome.
What they don't have is a grocery store there. You got to go to Netherlands.
Where's that?
Evergreen, Blackhawk, Central City.
They don't have a supermarket?
No, all they have is a little
convenience store. Nexus.
You know, Vail put one in.
Right. You know,
Vail put one in that's going crazy busy and doing wonderful because just a normal little supermarket. Those mountain communities need that kind of shit.
Yes, they do. They do.
Holy crap.
The reason I know about the post office is because that's where we sit to watch fireworks.
Oh, okay. You must get there early. Because
no, we never have any problem. We sit in front of the post office.
Right.
You're sheltered across the street. There's parking right across the street.
You must have got there early because that stuff really fills up.
Not too early. Yeah,
the
before. And and the post office is open.
I was thinking about the station.
The post office boxes. So you go inside if the weather's bad or cold or whatever. And that convenience store is right next door for a
They have a
restroom.
specific.
They have
available.
They have special
to
needs
the
but I never.
or whatever it is.
So I'm 3 miles up there.
If she says that you can't, like, well, you can if you
right
have
across
special
from
needs
school. You probably.
You can't switch
Where do you drive? How do you
stand
drive?
Medicare Advantage,
Yeah,
and they
come
have
up.
the same
We come up by
carrier.
70 cross
You
over.
can't go from one to another. You can't go into that. You can
from
snip
Central City Parkway.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But
sometimes
you're on Cold Creek Canyon, right?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, Cold Creek Canyon, we just go up the top and to get essentially go up to the top and take one machine
Right,
down.
right.
You know, a friend of mine,
Medicare Advantage,
weeks ago,
yeah, I mean, you can do it as long as there are
right up the
specific.
cemetery.
As long as the carrier has a
It's Apex Road there.
It's planned for that.
No, it's a four-wheel drive road to go over and end up down St. Mary's Lake.
Oh yes, you're going really all around there.
Yeah, that was fun road.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything wrong.
No,
four-wheel
it
drive
just wasn't.
You get off on 19 Apex Road, we go there and it goes by.
There's so much to Medicare about all these little things. It would take me
and the back way,
a full day to go over.
I almost found a place there.
Yeah, questions I can focus on bringing into.
Just call us and we can talk
and get through the details.
Really nice.
Of
Beautiful.
what option maybe that's for you. You know, like there are special
There's
circumstances
just too
where
much in there. They got the small.
you may be able to, may not be able to move.
I know they're
places there. Where now I got 1.3 acres. And and I would have played not much more or not much less. More that.
We did a cemetery. A couple years ago, we did a cemetery tour.
Yeah, we have another one here.
But we know now.
They're really interesting. I think it was around Halloween. Think about it.
So we do know somebody that does it for you.
I tell you what, and the people.
Someone who's an expert in those things that we can refer you to.
Expensive up there too.
That's probably costing them to haul everything up there.
But
these are all
property taxes
for us.
are so cheap.
That one A, B, and D.
So I pay.
It really depends on.
I pay.
What happens if I lose my Medicaid?
Yeah.
That's a dual eligible question.
A lot of
Not
things they
necessarily.
really
You might be on
sewer stuff.
you might be getting his
You probably
A,
don't
B.
have. You have septic.
Well,
You got
right,
to
have
get more
something,
information
but a lot
because
of
he's on
times
A and B.
is,
Medicaid could be paying for his A and B, and then he could be on extra help for D.
Like
But what is he doing for G?
That's a big charge
You're right,
up
you're right,
nowadays,
you're right,
and I don't think
And they just
That,
run everything into
I don't know.
cost.
There's a lot of questions.
I don't know if they have a very big school district, probably small.
Well, it's still a school
Can we go over
school, but I'll bet you per
Do you
student.
know what the wrong information she mentioned? When she says wrong information
Oh,
is being used? Do you know what it was? Do you know what she said?
I can ask her. She's just like, they're saying it all wrong,
But
and I
it's
said,
I
well,
like it up there.
and
Oh, I like
a lot
it.
of times they have it wrong in their
Well,
head.
it's a lot. I mean, it's
Above Central City, I
it may
can't
be
remember where it was.
against what we're saying.
Right.
Right.
And that's
We'll
this
get
is
to it.
good. She'll, yeah.
Nine
Tom will
times
make
out
her
of 10,
explain-
nothing is wrong.
That's why I
Lake.
put that up there.
A 52-acre lake.
Tom would like to.
52 acres?
52-acre lake was a big lake.
See, we got a little lake.
Well, here's what I want to do. I just want to get it
Yeah.
that part over, so afterwards we can just meet.
His property went right down to it.
And we'll talk about it.
Carl, can you answer
down?
Yeah, what would you like?
What do you get? The Italian nightclub with the spicy peppers?
With bread?
With spicy peppers? Or
no bread.
So you want under? Yeah, I'm the only one
I
with bread.
couldn't tell you
Well,
where
you're the only one.
No, there's two of you. There's two.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead
But
and I'm
Dad,
gonna
last
order
time,
because they take them
last time
away.
they didn't do any oranges. They gave us all bread. So just
Well,
emphasize
they
it.
never did anything because it was so high.
So bad.
Number one,
I'm gonna tell them
11,000 feet where they were at.
Oh,
They-
wow.
What I'm saying is,
We have trouble with them.
Yeah, they were 11,000.
can we just talk without your dad on that stupid bill or whatever? I don't mean stupid, you know what I mean. I mean stupid. No, I don't.
The bill can be stupid.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. I'll let you know whenever a line is open. 713 Talk. We also do have, however, lines open right now at 303. Martino, 303-627-8466. This hour brought to you by, speaking of health, PanaceaLife.com for the CBD products that really work. If you have any specific question on those, call me. Or you can call them at 800-985-0515. 800-985-0515. CBD products for chewing, for gel caps or gelatin pills and or soft gels as they call them, in 15 milligrams all the way up to 75 milligrams, and creams to soothe pain. PanaceaLife.com. Okay, listen, folks. We're talking about Medicare, and I want to get Janie on because she has a comment. I think she said wrong information is being given. I'm sure that's not so, but we could have left out something. Go ahead, Janie. What's going on?
Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. You were talking about the Medicare Advantage and the Medicare Supplement.
Right.
And what people need to know, for Medicare Advantage, you'd be surprised how many agents can't even sell Medicare Advantage, because with Medicare Advantage, you have to recertify with Medicare each and every year.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Medicare Advantage has a cap. Last year, the cap for Medicare Advantage was like $4,700.
You mean an out-of-pocket? You mean an out-of-pocket cap, Janie?
Yes.
Okay. Is it Janie or Janie? Is it Janie?
Janie.
Okay.
Janie.
Okay. So Jane, on the so we were talking about Part A and B as provided by the government, or and then you usually buy a supplement, or Advantage, where it's all in one, and another company takes over your A, B, and throws everything in. Now, what we did say was there's more out of pocket with Advantage, and I think we mentioned something like around $6,000 or $7,000, and you're saying it actually is 47.
No, that's not.
I understand that. That's what I'm trying to clarify. So it's 4,700 is what you're saying. Is that the mistake you were talking about?
Yeah, last year, and I haven't looked because they haven't put out.
It doesn't have to be exact, but that's good to note that it's not as much as we said.
They haven't put out. Yeah, they haven't put out the 2020 numbers.
Do you like Advantage, in fact, Janie? Do you like Advantage?
I love it.
You really do.
I love it.
Why do you? Now tell me why you. I assume, and let me just get this. Do you sell Medicare Advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me?
AARP.
Yeah. Can you tell me what you love about it?
Yes. What I love about it is that when I go to the doctor, I only have a $10 copay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, they're changing some of that, and a lot of them are not going to have any out-of-pocket copays at all.
Okay.
Most importantly, what I love about it is I was paying for my prescriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you, by the way, may I ask a question very quickly? Can you have a Medicare Advantage and a drug policy? Can you get a drug policy with it or not?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can get a Medicare Advantage and
okay. It's an all-in-one. It's It's called MAPD, Medicare Advantage with a prescription drug plan.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So you can get that.
Yes, and what I like about that is that most people are not aware who even have Medicare. A lot of people who have Medicare Advantage aren't aware that if they use the what do you call it? The call in, where you can call in your prescriptions.
Yeah.
The doctor can call your mail.
Yeah.
Mail in prescription drugs.
Mhm.
Okay. They literally cost you nothing.
Well, that's good to know. Listen, I can't spend too much time, but you made your point that the out-of-pocket is not as much as we said, and she loves Medicare Advantage. I personally like what I have, but I'm not going to debate it. I mean, people need to make choices for themselves. Yes, Johnny?
Well,
or Jared,
we
quickly.
do have the information for 2020. We got them last week.
Okay, good.
And she does say that AARP she sells, which we do as well. But we sell many, many more.
Yeah.
That's why we want people to come in and go over everything. This year, AARP is putting out a new plan, which does have a max out-of-pocket of $6,700. That's 100% true. We actually just fact-checked it right now.
Okay.
So what I did say was true. Because of that new plan.
What's the $4,700 cap?
Well, so she was talking about was the plans last year.
Okay.
That were under AARP. They were capped at that.
And again, for those listening, I promise I am never going to go tit for tat with anything. This is not what we do here. We're giving you a general overall view of this. So if you're out there and you sell a plan here and there, really, just enjoy yourself and listen, because we're really not trying to promote any one carrier at all. Now, I do want to take some people who've been waiting, and I want to remind everyone that you can call about anything. We're not talking just Medicare. We're talking all health insurance. We're also talking any consumer problem you might have, okay? And any consumer problem. And Terry wants to talk about her husband not working, turning 65. Go ahead, Terry.
Hi, Tom. This is a great subject today.
Thank you.
Okay, so I am still working. And
How old are you? How old are you?
64. I'll be 65 next year.
Okay.
Okay, and my husband is covered under my insurance through work.
Okay.
He turns 65 in December. Should he still apply for Medicare? We're not sure how that should work.
Okay, just so you know, Medicare is separate from benefits, and people make the mistake of thinking, they have to wait till they start taking benefits. But I do want to ask you guys a general question. It wasn't her question. In general, does everyone have Medicare whether they worked or not when they turn 65?
No.
No?
No.
Tell me what you mean by that.
So you have to have at least 40 work credit hours to...
40 hours?
Quarters. 40 quarters to qualify for Medicare. Medicare Part A. And that's where Medicare Part A is not free for everyone, because if you don't have those, you would have to buy into it, right?
And is it a lot to buy into it?
It could be, yes, sir.
But
in general, most people
So you need a 10-year work history.
Unless you have a spouse who also qualifies. So if you have a spouse who also qualifies, then you do as well.
Have you ever had people get married just to help someone out? Do you know?
I don't know that.
I mean, I wonder. Okay, so, I mean, do you have to be married a certain length of time?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yep.
Okay, so Terry, your husband, just out of curiosity, does he have 40 quarters of work behind him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
if he did have 40 quarters and she's also working, do they take the best?
Well, that's what I hear her asking is, and it really depends on the circumstance, and what it's costing you, right, to add your husband or to keep your husband on your plan through your employment. So
you're not required to get Medicare.
You're not required to get Medicare, but here's the thing. And is your husband going to be taking Social Security?
He's already taking it.
He's already taking it. So they're going to give him Medicare Part A and Part B. They're going to send him the card. Okay. If he
even without applying or anything?
Correct. So if he is going to stay on your plan, you will want him to basically send that and say, I don't want Part B.
And then he gets that money not taken out.
Correct. I don't want Part B, because that could lead to some challenges down the road of his plan options, potentially down the road when he finally does come off your plan.
Okay. Another question on this.
Okay, go ahead. Quickly.
Hang on to it. Okay. If I lose my job sometime next year, the enrollment period is only once a year. So what happens if I lose my job?
If you lose your job, that's a qualifying event. The open enrollment is for everyone except those who lose coverage involuntarily. You lose your job or you move across this, into another area, or what else? What other reasons? Major life events, they call them, right?
Correct. Divorce, marriage.
Yeah. So I don't think you have to worry about that at this point. Okay?
Okay.
And keep listening. We'll have a lot of useful information, and we have more coming up.
It's Ross Kaminsky.
Mornings at 5. Law prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex, but in these days of
20 or less employees, he needs to do it.
Yeah.
Because Medicare is first if there's 20 or less employees.
That's true. So if she has 20 or less employees, because she's the one getting the benefit.
Yeah.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. That's where you get an appointment with Simply Floors. Simply Floors at 52nd and Ward. They're a local company on the southwest corner. In fact, if you ever want to call them, it's 303-456-4660. But here's the important thing. The holiday rush is on. They have extraordinary deals, even above their normal deals. Their normal deals are 30, 40, sometimes 50% off all the other prices. Really, they just simply make less profit and do a better job. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Yeah, that's really important.
But she might even be better dropping her husband, because now
She
she's
might be.
single.
That's where it's,
versus
there's so
family
much
plan.
to this that you just can't.
Right, you
squeeze
can't say it no.
But you said that. You said it all comes down to
it. Right.
Yeah.
It's really important. If there's less than 20, people don't know that, and so they go in and their insurance won't pay for anything.
Less than what?
If there's less than 20 employees.
Less than 20 employees, they have
You need to take
first.
Medicare. Yeah.
So if he needs to get Part B, he needs to get a supplement if there's 20 or less employees, or 19 or less.
Because they're not required to have a plan.
Right, because the
Right.
small business doesn't have to. So Medicare is first. Right, exactly. So you definitely want, and the carrier.
So if you have more than 20, you must provide a plan, but you don't have to pay for it.
No. From 21 to 49, you don't have to provide anything.
From 0 to 20, nothing?
0 to 20, if they're over 65.
I'm talking about just insurance.
Oh, no, then 0 to 49, you don't have to provide anything if you're just doing individual group, like small group, right? 0 to 49, and then 50, or is it 0 to 50? It's 51 and above.
51 and above, you have to provide.
Required to provide.
Do you have to pay for it?
You have to contribute. There are
How much?
contribution amounts.
$1?
It depends on the carrier. I think a lot of them are 50.
A lot of them are 50%.
Well, who determines what you contribute?
What do you mean, who determines what you contribute?
The federal government.
The federal government? What do they say?
Well, no, the employer they get to choose what they contribute, but usually there's a minimum of 50%.
By the government? Who says? That's what I'm getting at. If you're a large employer and you provide health insurance, what's to prevent me from saying you're going to pay for 90% of it?
Because yes, it is standardized. It's well, it's not standardized, but it's the government.
Okay, the government tells these big companies that they must contribute.
At least, yes.
Okay. So that's okay. So that's hard, man. That's hard for businesses, isn't it? See, but what a lot of these geniuses don't understand is that when you tell a company you must provide, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, you must provide and contribute 50%, they're only going to take it out of payroll in general. They're not going to overpay someone. I mean, they're going to say, look, with all the benefits, this is what you get.
Like you must pay a $15 minimum wage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same, like it's that money that they're going to shut up as a town, and that money's going to come from somewhere else, right, to be able to meet that.
And that's when they say this Medicare for all, companies would probably say, great, it's off my back, Medicare for all. But the government's going to have to pick that up.
But Medicare for all,
from all the money the government's earning.
I'm not sure all that bad of an idea.
What would I was going to say? What's wrong with that if people contribute?
Well, because everybody's going to be
They
under
just
that.
closed I-25 from Castle.
Where's it going to come from? Who's going to pay that?
No, but what I'm saying is the money not going into Medicare right now would go into it for that, right? The people, instead of individual plans and all of that other money,
that's what you'll have to do. You'll have to do something.
You'll have to raise taxes a bit
on businesses or people.
Yeah, obviously, and then that money would just go into a central pool. But here's my concern.
We don't do a lot of
My concern is, as it always is, it's not what you pay, it's how they use it.
Right.
I mean, if there's top-heavy administration, it's going to suck. I've always said this. People don't give it. People are not as concerned about paying taxes as they are the fair distribution thereof.
Absolutely.
Everyone wants to help people truly in need, right? Truly in need. Who the fuck doesn't want to help someone truly in need? We all do. But the problem is, we don't. It's this idea of fucking everybody gets the same is bullshit.
So if you, like I said, the federal government takes $100 by the time it gets down to the person, it's probably $30.
I know.
We don't have those 2020. Yeah, we don't.
So we have them. I don't know why you don't have them.
There's too many people that don't pay any taxes.
So we have the 2020 plans.
Way too many pay.
For Medicare.
Look, that woman just wanted to hear herself talk, okay? We get those. And I don't fucking waste my time. Like I try to tell your dad, it's not that I'm not interested in these topics. Radio's not the forum for it.
Right.
It's literally not the forum.
Right, it's too complicated.
That's why there's pieces of an answer that people are getting.
Right.
We're getting a shitload of calls.
At least you gotta know.
I've never
what
had
those
more
pieces
calls on a
you need
topic.
to ask.
Did this happen last time you were in?
No, because we didn't do Medicare. We didn't do Medicare. All these questions are Medicare.
The first year we did Connect for Health, you had a ton.
The second year was decent, but then the last 2 or 3 years, it's been like 95% of the time it's been other stuff and not really. There's a couple questions on health insurance, but we've never done Medicare. We've always just talked about health insurance.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Individual, yeah.
But people are.
I just think the Affordable Care Act is so much more established now. People understand it now. We're early on. It was what the heck.
First of all.
Who said we understand it?
It's really not affordable.
No, it's not.
But it's going down.
It's coming down.
It's coming down.
So some guy
Make $20,000 this year. It'll be really affordable, and you're on Medicare, so
and some guy I'm talking to right now, $2,000 a month.
I'm Tom Martino.
303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Okay, so let's talk. You can call about any problem, question, or complaint, but because we have Integra in the house, a lot of people are calling about Medicare and health insurance related stuff. I want to get to it, but I want some very simple explanations. Part A of Medicare is for in-hospital care. Is that right? Everyone gets Part A free. Is that right? I mean, if you had the work time, if you had the 40 quarters of work and you otherwise qualify for Social Security, you get Medicare Part A, right?
Correct.
Okay. And in general, if you don't take Part B, is it possible to just have Part A and not pay for Part B and refuse it? Is that possible?
Correct. But if you don't have qualified health coverage, you will get penalized.
Okay. So Part A, there's no premium technically. Part B is what? Healthcare, like doctors and stuff. And that is what's provided by the government, but you pay a premium. Is that right? But it's a reduced premium.
Correct. Right now, depending on income, is $135.50.
Okay. So you have Part A and Part B. We can understand that. In hospital care and skilled nursing for A, and for B, medical or health care. Now, Part C is what they call the Advantage plans. Is that right? That's where you hire an independent company to take on the responsibility of Medicare for you, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then you have Part D, which you get for prescriptions, right?
Correct.
So if you have Part A and Part B, you then get a drug plan to pay for prescriptions if you want to.
Correct.
All right. Not mandatory.
Yes, it is. Well, it's not mandatory, but there is a 1% penalty if you don't get Part D.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Then there's Part G, which is often called a Part G.
That'd be Plan G. So now you're getting into supplement plans.
Plan G is for supplements,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Not okay.
Yes, sir.
Is there a Part? We have A, B, C, D. Is there a Part E or Part F? Or now we get into plans.
Now you're getting into plans. So those are like plan.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
what's the first letter plan? Plan what?
Plan A.
Plan A.
What is Plan A?
Well,
what's Plan B? What's Plan C? What's Plan? What the government hold on. The government designates these just as a shortcut name for what they provide. Is that an easy way of putting it?
Basically, yes. So they're all specific. The way they fill the gaps, because these are Medigap plans, Medicare supplement plans. The way they supplement or fill the gaps of original Medicare, these plans are designed in different ways. Most of them, we focus on 2 or 3 of them because of the.
I understand.
Right, because a lot of these other Medicare supplement plans, there's a lot of exposure to the individual.
So Plan G is not the only supplement.
No.
Okay, so there are other supplement plans, and the government designates a letter just for a shortcut, basically. I mean, but do all Gs are basically the same, and all Fs are basically the same?
Yes, they're all standardized by the government.
That's why they have the letter designation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Plan F, you say, is going away.
Yes, sir. And for anyone whose date it exists still, but for anybody whose date of birth is beyond or from January 1st, 1955 or forward, will not be able to purchase that Plan F.
And by the way, it's going to be too expensive anyway because it's aggregated over claims, right? I mean, it's becoming too expensive because less are participating.
Yes, and
it's not a good plan to begin with, whether it's being phased out or not.
I mean, it was the Rolls-Royce.
I'm talking about
plan,
now.
Right? No, but yeah, absolutely. So, and we would expect or anticipate in the next 5, 7, 10 years that as that membership in Plan G decreases and claims increase, you're going to see significant increases in the premiums as
for
well.
F.
Yes.
Okay. What other plans out there even worth mentioning? There are not many. I don't want to get into minutiae.
Right, so we don't want to get into
most people should buy a Plan G is what you're saying.
Plan G is the most popular, and Plan G is the reason why is because it fills in every gap except for your Part B deductible.
Then that's all I really care about.
Bucks.
Okay, so let's get to the phones now and answer a few questions. Roger, you have Part A, B with a drug plan, and what do you want to know?
And I have my supplement as Medicaid.
Okay, so Medicaid provides what Medicare does not.
Right, because Medicare covers 80%.
I understand. And then
Medicaid is 20.
Okay, so Medicaid fills in the gaps for poor people, for lack of a better word, low income. It fills in for low income as opposed to paying for a supplement, right?
Right.
So what is your question,
now,
Roger? What is your question?
What happens if for some reason I no longer am eligible for Medicaid?
Then you have to buy a supplement.
Because the rules changed.
Then you have to buy a supplement.
But I'm low income.
Well, the rules will keep the same. The only way will be kicked off of Medicaid is because of your income.
Yeah.
Right.
So presumably, if you can afford a supplement, you no longer get Medicaid. I mean, technically, that's why. But I know, Roger, there are those on a threshold where just a little more money and they lose it, but it's still too expensive to buy for their budgetary reasons. I know exactly what you're saying. It's those little people on those gaps, on those edges that really get hurt. But why are you even worrying about it? Why are you worrying? Are you afraid that they might lower or raise the threshold or whatever? Are you because
they're constantly reviewing that.
Yeah, if anything, Medicaid is getting more inclusive, not less inclusive. Isn't that the trend, guys?
Yes, sir. Especially here in the state. I mean, Medicaid in Colorado, we've expanded it.
And Roger, from your voice, you're the guy on some crazy therapy, right?
Yeah, I get calcium by infusion 3 times a week.
Or you die.
Right. I've been doing it now for 18 years.
He has his body eats or doesn't store calcium. There's something. He'll literally die without calcium infusions.
That's right.
What is that condition called, Roger?
DiGeorge syndrome.
Wow. And you even had to move. As I remember, you moved to Pueblo or somewhere to be closer to a hospital and have cheaper rent?
Yeah, I have a house now. My mortgage is only $500 a month.
Yeah. So, Roger, nice to hear from you. I wondered what had happened to you. They say don't worry about it right now because Medicaid becomes more inclusive rather than less inclusive.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver.
He can get dual eligibility, but right now, with what he has, he wants to stay where he's at.
So,
dual eligibility is a Medicare plan, Medicare Advantage plan, where you can get into, but where he's at right now with what he's getting, we stay where he's at, definitely.
And you, like I say, that's one thing about Google. Google will tell you about these guys can.
Yeah, but my wife and I did that right here. Confuses hell.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is they'll give you the basics, and then these guys can fill in all the.
The reason my wife and I called you guys, we Googled all this.
Remember when we
really
had
lost.
Patty here that first time?
Really lost.
Looking at for help.
Look, she was here the first 3 years.
It's very difficult, but it's job security for us.
Yeah.
What is? How they make it a mess. They don't need to make it a mess.
My wife was so good at this, and she got on Google and spent 2 days on there, and just about she was ready to kill me. She was so frustrated with what was going on.
Okay, I'm going to do a spot. K&H Home Solutions. They have a special now on replacement windows. You know, their windows anyway are durable, energy efficient, beautiful. They're custom fit, and they're made to K&H specs. They'll be around to honor the warranty. They did for me 15 years after I replaced my windows with them. I even use their windows on new construction. I love them so much. And right now, if you want a color on your window rather than just white, they normally charge for that because it is something done at the factory where it impregnates the color. It never needs to be painted, and it never needs to be maintained. That color upgrade is now free if you make an appointment. You got to call before the 20th of October. You don't have to have it done before then, but make your appointment for some time. Call them before the 20th. 303-421-7100, or make your own appointment at khwindows.com. khwindows.com.
Part D question dropped off.
No, that was the one we just answered.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
For Part D? No, it wasn't. There was a Part D one up there.
Oh.
That dropped off. The one you just answered was the Medicaid.
That was Roger.
Yeah.
Do you know Roger?
I've heard him before on your show, I think.
He's a good guy. Really good. Okay, Medicare.
It's amazing. I mean, call
Macro.
Tom, if you look at the list, the thing with catching, this is where the insurance companies have really been sneaky. They're raising their Medicare Part D rates. So let's say a guy had Humana last year, they've gone from $30 to $58. And they haven't told them they have other plans. So the person that called us, he was furious because we recommended it to him. And when he got his increased letter, they now have like a Medicare, Humana has a value plan. They have 2 other plans they never bring up in the letter. So a lot of these seniors will continue to pay for it because they don't know how to go to Medicare.gov or anything like that to look. So, and Cigna is the same way. Cigna, I think we got a phone call from Cigna where they jumped their Medicare Part D rates like crazy.
My rate went up just a tiny bit.
Which plan are you on your D?
Cigna.
But once again, check.
And my supplement is with something called CHLIC. I don't know.
Yes, Chile. Cigna Health and Life Insurance. Good old Chile.
Why do they give you a 1% penalty if you don't take D?
It's 1% of the average cost. Of the average cost of the prescription drug plan per month. So if it's the average cost is $34, then you're getting a 34-cent penalty. That gets added up though every month. So at the end of the year, you know, that's $4 or whatever that now in perpetuity is added to when you get a Part D plan that's added to that premium.
So if you don't need any drugs, it's better just to take it. Because those
just get the cheapest plan. Just get the cheapest plan this year is like $13 for next year.
I'll take the cheapest plan out there. Gotcha. And this year we'll change it to another plan.
$13.20 is going to be the cheapest.
But people have to be proactive.
Right.
But the formularies can change The formularies can change.
They're showing the 2020 plans now.
Insurance for people like us.
There's two that are under $14, or right around that.
You know what they do every year? They do that, and then they like Humana Walmart. It's like $40.
The WellCare one's only going up to like 18 or 19.
You know, Humana Walmart we were selling, it's like $15 now.
Yeah, we started at 17.
Yeah, that's what they do. They suck it in, and then they
Jack the prices, that's
Right,
ours
silver
are
scripts
going
and
up.
extra scripts.
Humana has a 1320 plan, and WellCare has a 1490.
Yeah, there you go.
The WellCare 1490 is not the cheap plan from last year. That one's going to like
17 or 18, I thought 19.
something like that.
I'll give you another example. You've heard of the donut hole, right?
Yeah, that's as far as their age.
Well, donut hole is not donuts based on your prescription drugs.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot
So
of
this
it.
year they changed it. The donut hole starts at 40/20. It goes to 6,300. So we had a client that she wasn't our client. She wanted to go Kaiser, and we were trying to help her. Her drug costs each month are $20,000.
You're doing C9.
Holy God.
For cancer.
Holy God.
So she was going to go in the donut hole
According-
right away.
According to everything I'm reading on MACRA, it doesn't affect really consumers. It affects healthcare providers more than anything on how they're reimbursed.
Right, the healthcare.
But that's
So
why
why-
because that
But
plan
then why do we
is
need to
very-
discuss, what
We
do
don't
we
need
tell?
to discuss
No,
it.
no, what I
It's
mean
primarily
is, you
the
said it was
FMC.
really important. I just need to understand what it does for, how can consumers be affected?
It affects the consumer who's on a plan F. Or C. Right?
Which hardly anybody.
Or the
John,
A lot of brokers like to sell the plan F because they got the higher commission.
And they can still sell them?
It happens to me.
For anybody whose birthday is
December 31st.
So you
prior to December 1st.
Hi, toll-free 713-TALK, 713-8255. We had just in passing mentioned macro. We're not really going to discuss it because it affects mostly people on supplements other than G. And if you have a plan F, really it's something you shouldn't have, in my opinion. On everything I'm reading, plan F is either too expensive, more expensive than it needs to be, and is getting more expensive as years go on. Now, if you want to buy it, go ahead. I'm not going to spend time talking about it because according to the stats, it's a very, very small percentage of people who actually have that plan. So if you need information, though, Integra, these guys will answer anything you want on all health insurance issues. And contrary to what people think, you don't save going direct to an insurance company at all. I had an argument with a guy one time. He just, I'm not calling Integra. I want to save. I'm going direct. I've never heard of anyone saving a dime going direct. So anyway, 303-466-5500. And Margie, what do you need to know, Margie? Welcome to the show. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm 67, and I have Plan F. And so when I...
May I ask what you're paying a month for that?
You know, I'm not. I pay it all at once at the beginning of the year.
You don't? Okay, how much?
See, well, first year it was 16, and I think last year it may have gone up to 17.
100 a year for the whole, 1,700
for the whole year.
For Plan F. Oh, that sounds pretty reasonable to me, guys. I mean...
That's what I thought.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, what about it? What's your question, dear?
Well, it sounded like it was going away or something a minute ago when you were talking.
Now, is it literally going away, or do you mean it's just getting more expensive and less people are buying it?
No, it's not going. It's not. Plan F still exists. It's not going away. It's not available to those whose dates of birth are January 1st, 1955 or forward. So it's just no longer available to any
all the people existing on it or adding to it. It's less people.
Correct.
With having less people participating, does it get expensive?
Yeah, so over time, we do anticipate that over time, as that pool does get smaller, the pool of individuals who are on a Plan F does get smaller, and the claims do increase within that pool, that will adversely affect your premium and premium increases.
But if she has it now and she likes it, then you keep it. I mean, what the hell's the difference? If it gets too expensive, you switch, right?
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
Right? Or
well, not necessarily.
What?
Is if she's on it and she gets sick, she cannot switch. She has to stay there. If she wants to go to a different supplement plan and she is sick, she can't switch because she has to go through underwriting.
You're right.
So you're stuck with it if you don't do it now. If you're healthy now.
If you have a pre-existing condition, you can be stuck with it.
So it's always worth a phone call to discuss and to really look through this. Is this the long-term option for you that may have made more sense couple of years ago, but now moving forward with this new information, is it the long-term option for you?
What do you switch to?
Well, there's multiple, like Plan G, for example. The only difference between a Plan G and a Plan F is you're responsible for your $185 Part B deductible every year.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's really the only difference.
Yeah, and more often than not, you're paying $30 or $40 more at least a month for a Plan F over a Plan G.
So it seems to me that no matter what, Plan G is better, no matter what.
That would be my
If you're paying 30 or 40 more a month, and you're responsible for 185, if you add 185, I mean, you make that up in no time.
True, but there are people who just say, I never want to see a hospital bill again.
Well, that's ridiculous.
That's where Plan F
so they want to pay more than they would seeing a hospital bill. It's ridiculous. Margie, you understand what they're saying, right?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't pay anything when I go to the hospital. I don't pay anything when I go anywhere because it's all the copays are taken care of because of Plan F.
And that's the same on Plan G, except your $185 Part B.
The only thing, Margie, is you have a $185 deductible. But on Plan F, while there's no deductible, you're paying 30 or 40 more a month than the other Plan G. So you're paying more. You're paying more no matter what. So it's up to you, Margie. Again, I urge people really not to take what Integra is saying on a short radio show where we can't delve into details. You call them. The whole idea is just to let you know they're there and to brush the surface here. And you go 303-466-5500. They'll go as deep in detail as you need to. Okay, Val, you have Medicare A and B, is that right? Or do you have Advantage?
Both.
Well, you don't have both, dear, right?
Well,
or do you?
Well,
you have one or the other.
So what do you have? What plan do you have right now?
What I have right now is the Kaiser Permanente
Advantage. Okay. Do you like it, by the way? Do you like it?
I do.
Okay.
But I'm also thinking of switching to ARP, United Healthcare Plan.
You mean the Advantage for the ARP Advantage, you mean, plan?
Yeah.
Okay. I can just tell you this, okay? I don't know anything about the details, but I do know as far as complaints that Kaiser gets fewer complaints than any other group when it comes to that. We have a ton of problems. I don't want to get into it with ARP and United. Is United one of the administrators there? Is United with ARP?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, United and ARP.
But that's not, I'm not talking about the coverage. So let's talk to these guys about the coverage. What do you think about Kaiser versus the ARP plan?
Well, under United, Medicare Advantage is an ARP, right? But you don't have to be an AARP member to get on the Medicare
Well,
Advantage.
what do you think about those coverages compared to each other?
Well, they're completely different, especially with what United is offering this year in 2020.
Is it good?
It's good.
Oh, okay.
It's good network-wise. For the first time, they're competing, right? These MAPD plans that are coming into the state of Colorado.
Our Advantage plans getting better then.
They're getting way better. So they're including dental. They're including prescription drugs. They're including vision.
What?
And yes, so they're.
Should I take another look then, John? You know, John Sr. saying no, you stay right where you are.
Yes.
Now, see, he's very prejudiced against Advantage.
Well, no, and it has its play. You know, everybody is different. That's
what
why,
would you get right now if you were turning 65? What would you?
It really depends on my income. I would get a supplement plan, probably. But
what does that mean, income? If you had more income, you'd get something different or less income?
Well, so this is how it is. Medicare Advantage is a little bit more affordable. However, if something happens, right, you do have these, 4,400, 5,500, 6,700 max out of pockets, right? But it's really hard to reach that in a Medicare Advantage plan because everything is pretty much a copay. Even inpatient visit, inpatient, outpatient.
Right.
It's really hard to reach that unless something major happens.
Now, Big John, what do you think? This is why we're here to discuss this. 303-713-TALK. Go ahead, Big John.
I think, Tom, when you said, and I was shaking my head.
Yeah.
Obviously, you travel.
Yeah.
And you do other things.
Now, we're talking to Val now. So.
Okay, so in Val's case, and once again, it does come down to premium, and I understand that. There's zero deductibles, zero premium that people have with Medicare Advantage.
Just your normal, what they take out of your benefit, right?
Well, it's not their Medicare Part B. We all pay Medicare Part B.
Right, I understand that.
And this year, it's
and that goes to them. Your Medicare Part B payment goes to them.
That over to them.
Right.
That insurance,
but you don't have to pay for a supplement or a drug plan.
That is correct. It's all built in.
Okay.
But the key point is, and what Jared was talking about, when you look at these max out-of-pockets, like $3,400, all the way up to, if you go with the PPO plan, $6,700. Then if you go outside that network, all of a sudden you could have a $10,000 exposure. Plus your Medicare Part D, if you ever hit your donut hole and your max benefit there, that's a lot of dollars. So the people the people that primarily want a Medicare supplement plan want to know that primarily I'm going to pay a higher premium. I understand that. But like in your case, Tom, you're $185 out of pocket.
Total.
Medicare A is 100% covered. All your 20% is covered. Plus you have access to doctors across this country.
Right.
So you'll find out like MD Anderson or Sloan's or Duke or Cedars-Sinai. None of them take Medicare Advantage. And if God forbid, as I get older, if I never need to get there.
Or if Val needs a cancer treatment.
She may want to go to MD Anderson. She may want to go to Mayo.
And you don't do that with Advantage.
No.
Okay, Val, I hope we answered. Do you have any specific questions?
You kind of answered. Yeah, I'm going to be 71 this year. And so I've been on Kaiser Permanente. I retired at 67.
So you should do what's best for you. And what I hear Big John saying is that Part A and B with a good supplement and a drug plan is the way to go. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. All kinds of benefits. And we'll talk about it coming up. Plus, any problem, question, or complaint, you can call us, folks. We're not focused on just one thing. And, of course, any health insurance in addition to Medicare. Okay? 303-713-TALK, and we have lines open right now.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This question about
Medicare
donut
Advantage plans
hole.
do
I don't know what that means.
A lot of people do.
What is a donut hole?
Well, that's big.
It's actually
It has to do with prescription drug, and it is changing.
Can you guys explain?
But it's minutia.
No, we're not on the air, but now, what is it? I mean, I get it.
Okay, so how it goes. All right, so you got Part D.
Yeah.
There's 4 different tiers. At the beginning is the copays, where the carrier and the client are paying together. So if you reach $4,350, you reach, what is it called?
The donut hole.
Well, it's not the donut hole anymore. They call it now a coverage
But
gap.
what does that mean?
Yeah, coverage
I'm no longer covered?
Now you're paying up to $6,350 of your pretty much
$63.
$6,350.
But that 40. Or you
40/20.
Hold up.
Yeah, I'm just, let's wait, and then I'll do it.
For groups, individuals, and families.
Art of Granite. I love Art of Granite. On Facebook, you can find them. Facebook.com. Art of Granite Golden. Now, when you call them, you can get a price on the phone because Mitch Floria with Art of Granite does everything the right way. First of all, the bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. The tear out and haul away is free. And all of the stone is sold to you at direct wholesale, his price. So he only charges for fabrication and installation and a small markup on cabinets. Because of that structure, he can give you a price on the phone. Oh yeah, you're going to want to maybe get some custom edges and different sinks, but for the most part, you'll be within a few $100s. I love the way he does business. You're going to want to go visit him, but get a price on the phone first. 303-386-5919. That's Art of Granite. And on Facebook, it's Art of Granite Golden. 303-386-5919. So then what?
So you're paying a copay for the drugs up until $4,350.
Out after you pay the 4 or after
after combined, you've hit $4,350.
Okay, then what?
That $4,350.
That's a lot of money per year.
It is a lot of money, but there's drugs that are at least they cost that.
$1,600 a month.
Okay, so once you reach that, what happens?
So once you reach that, and this $4,350 goes toward that $6,000.
It goes away after that.
Well, yeah, but it's counted toward that amount. Because then the carrier is paying.
Then you pay an extra $2,000 or so.
Then you're going to pay 25% of the cost of the drug.
Out of pocket.
$600. You're going to pay 25% of it. up to that 6,007.
So that Part D plan, I think it's so
6,300,
great.
6,300.
I think it's so great because all I'm paying is a couple bucks each time.
Well, but you're on generics. That can change if your prescription drug needs change.
So once you hit that 6,300, the government then kicks in. They're going. You'll be responsible for 5% of the cost of your
Read in the Medicare booklet in 2020, you can't get a gap plan. That's Plan F.
Yeah.
It's got to be Plan F. Yeah. Sorry.
So that one lady was paying $20,000 a month. Even when she hits her thing, she's still out of pocket $1,000.
Yeah, you still have to pay
That's
5%.
when you
There is
find
no
in
max out.
pharmaceutical
True max out of
companies
pocket.
to see if
So
you can-
I don't get why they call it a donut hole.
Well, it used to be called, because what you'd go into that donut hole and you'd be paying the majority of the cost of that prescription drug until you hit a certain dollar amount, and then you'd come out of it
And go back to your copay?
Go back to, and the government then is paying the majority of the cost of that drug at that point.
You'd be
The
responsible
government.
for five. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd
the
be
government.
responsible for 5%.
Not your Part D.
Right.
Okay. So
It's
After that, a lot of people have it.
Yeah.
under normal Social Security, you get zero drug coverage, right?
whatever the carry. Yeah, okay.
So it could drop down to 1,000.
Normal Medicare, you get zero drug
Correct. You
coverage.
gotta add two. You gotta add. I mean, here's the way it works. A Medicare Part D is your pharmacy, correct? You're going to get. If you go in the hospital or you go to the doctor's office and they inject you or they give you the
That's
drug,
Part B.
then it's B.
Yeah.
But anything else that
I
you
get it.
like a pharmacy, is gonna fall under Medicare.
So my pellet implant, it's never covered. That's a hormone optimization, right? It's testosterone and estrogen. It's hormone therapy. That's not covered because that could technically be B, but it has to be medically necessary, right?
It has to be approved.
The government has to approve.
Medicare has to do it.
And they don't. I think we looked into it, right? They don't approve hormone therapy of any kind,
I don't think so.
which is really weird. Because
They might. They might. They could change
Yeah,
it.
there are some things they would, but it's
Sounds a lot cheaper though.
like insulin, they cover.
Yeah, they come in.
No.
That's under D.
Thyroid
don't know.
medicine.
I really don't.
They don't cover thyroid.
But I think
You're still doing it.
Medicare
I
Advantage
didn't know. I
plans
didn't know.
are the best option for some people. The majority of people we recommend a supplement. But that's where somebody calling in, that's where we can walk them through their
You
specific
ask them questions
circumstances.
about how much they have and as far as drugs.
Exactly. We ask all of those
Who
questions
their
to say,
doctors are.
Yeah, if your doctors are
What's
in
your
Medicare
budget?
Advantage, go for it.
You know, budget's huge. That's why.
But the concern is, so like all these PPO Medicare Advantage plans are coming out. That's great. You get a PPO network. It's nationwide, but it's still owned by the insurance company. So the insurance company can say,
You don't need it.
we don't want to offer this plan anymore and cancel it on you.
It's not guaranteed renewal.
Yeah. Where your supplement is guaranteed.
Every year.
You buy
Yeah, you don't have an open enrollment.
Yeah.
You just keep going.
But those needles are just like,
And you can change your plan
About the
anytime
size
you
of
want.
the
No,
head.
they're not. As long as you're healthy.
They're really big.
They can also change the network so you don't have the things that you want in it that you thought.
Big freaking deal.
Like you may have joined for a specific few doctors that now they're no longer in it.
Yeah, they come and go all the time.
Because I do have
They cancel, the carriers actually cancel people out of networks.
Doctors who might be too costly.
Well, no, the doctor doesn't have as many members as they want them to have.
Okay. Hi, Tom Martino, 713 Talk, 713-8255. In the regular world of health insurance, and when you're part of a group, they have something called capitation, where it's not publicized, but a doctor is told, hey, we really don't want to spend more than X amount of dollars per year per patient. So do everything you can not to spend that. Do we have that in Advantage plans? Do you know? I mean, if it's a group, I imagine they do. I mean, I'm not talking about something published that you can look up, but I'm wondering if people ever run into a problem where a group, an approved group, is kind of stingy with care. I don't know. I mean, do you ever get a complaint about it?
We haven't received any complaints about that.
I mean, like a Kaiser or even whatever the group is, are they loyal to a group to try to keep the costs down when a doctor is part of a network? We have not gotten that complaint. I'm just curious if it happens, if they're pressured a bit.
No, it's a good question.
I don't know. Anyway, I do know that a lot of people blame the cost of healthcare going up on doctors, and We have doctors right now getting less per procedure than they did 20 years ago. So why are prices going up? They're reimbursed, and hospitals are getting reimbursed less. And this is what's really weird, and I've said this before. The cost of health care is going up mainly because of insurance. This is really odd. Insurance inserted themselves into the industry and were paying for bills. Then decided, in addition to coverage, they need to control how it's spent, and it's managed health care. So they went into not only paying claims, but managing those claims, where they actually had people behind a desk telling doctors what they could do and what they couldn't do. And then they had shareholders to answer to. And shareholders look for more and more in order to invest. So it got to a point where health insurance in and of itself is the reason we have such high costs. Doctors sometimes bill an exaggerated amount just to get paid a little more than they would have. And if you look at the actual money they make, I interviewed doctors. A lot of them, if you take a procedure like a C-section or something, they're getting paid less on that procedure than they did 20 years ago. So when you look at the cost of health care, you can blame health insurance. I mean, health insurance, we say, is necessary. Well, of course it is. But they've inserted themselves like the mafia did for sanitation services in New York. I mean, they insert themselves into an industry and then pad it so they can all make profit. And it's actually not what it was intended to be. Managed care was supposed to be truly avoiding the lying, cheating, rip-off doctors, not true care you need, and not to call something experimental just because you don't want to pay for it. It was also meant that people who needed a procedure and they fairly paid their premium would get that procedure, instead of a group of people in an office somewhere getting together trying to figure out what their stock price is going to do if they don't make a certain profit, and then making a medical decision accordingly. And that's what you have with health insurance. And I know that Integra, they're not in the health insurance business. They're in the selling, the brokering business to get you the best health coverage. But the ones who are really the carriers, they're evil bastards. That's one place where I agreed with Obama on trying to do something about it. Of course, he even made it screwier, I think, the affordable health care. But you have to do something, because I don't know why, of all industries in the world, not just health insurance, but property and casualty insurance, it is a one business predicated on leeching off of people and preying off of people. And I mean incorporated to do a disservice to people. That is, honest to God. No, when you may say, well, they pay benefits. They do begrudgingly, and they do the minimum payment of advantage, of claims. What they're really in business for is to make shareholders a lot of money at the expense of policyholders. That's the God's honest truth. And if you talk to anyone who's been in a fight with insurance, they will tell you that. It is the one industry where most of them are evil sons of bitches, and they don't belong what they're doing, and we should control them. That's the way I feel about insurance
Your next
itself.
chance to win $1,000 is coming up in 10 minutes on Denver.
I swear to God, I hate insurance.
We're going to get a lot of phone calls with angry people.
Well, they're evil.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for gonna.
Well, and I made it clear, you just sell it. But you know what? They do not get together and say, how can we serve our policyholders better?
There are, well, I'm just saying, these
co-ops, maybe.
These newer carriers that, whether it's like, these newer carriers that are coming out are working to find ways that are more efficient and effective and affordable for people. They really, truly are. Oscar, it wasn't even started by health insurance people.
Well, then they're okay. Then they're not truly the industry.
But they're working, and even Bright Health, their model is intended to be something that can get away from exactly what you were just.
You should pull up the footage of I-25. If there's just cars slamming into each other.
Awesome.
Really? Crazy.
Is it?
Thank you. We'll have to go home that way.
So we're sleeping here tonight.
Wait, I gotta.
Good thing we ordered lunch.
Is it really bad going to
You
lunch?
may have to reschedule.
Johnny,
Or leave.
and What he was talking about, on Medicare Advantage plans, I think they probably do, because they have the $1,200 that they get
But that's not the question. I mean, the question really is on the capitation. It's it's what doctors can charge. But what I understand that, but what doctors can charge is held down by Medicare anyway. Medicare doctors are allowed to charge. There's a Medicare allowable amount, right? Doctors are allowed to charge up to that amount, and then depending on the supplement, they can charge up to 50%.
Yes, but the insurance company owns the business, and they're paying the doctor.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So the doctor, if he's doing too many tests, they're going to cut him out of that.
I looked at my rear mirror and the guy's flying up on my ass, and I think, he's not even stop.
That's what I think he's talking
I know what you were saying on the $700 more for
Really?
I understand it, but the point was...
People don't understand those little pickups are worse.
How I explained the point was it just doesn't make sense. Regardless of the amount, even if it's $300 or $400 more and you only have $185 deductible.
What's he doing?
That's still, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what my point was here, is that you're going to pay more than you are out
there. So where it must be down here where she said it was closed.
It had nothing to do with the snow.
That doesn't look bad at all.
They just do stupid stuff.
It must be down where she said Castle Rock.
Maybe they can't concentrate. I'm thinking Monument is what's bad.
Monument's got to be on.
Because you look outside, the streets are just wet here.
Where do I go? So just keep following I-25.
Oh, that's I-25.
Yeah, keep following I-25.
And Tom, with the ACA plan,
look at
any
that.
idea how long
He's
that
outside.
was? Is he out?
He's not here.
Yeah, but y'all have any idea how big
down.
the ACA, I mean, pages were part of the ACA?
No.
2,600.
Oh,
Jesus. Think of the rules and regulations that came off.
I think the exchanges.
The what now?
The exchanges that came out with affordable health care.
That was the co-ops.
That was the co-ops?
Those were the co-ops.
No, are you talking about co-op? Yeah.
Yeah, the co-op.
Well, they call them exchanges.
No, are you talking about the marketplace like Connect for Health Colorado?
Well, no, when the Affordable Health Care Act came out.
So those were co-ops. Those are like Colorado Health Up.
They were the government health fund, though.
But none of them lasted. They all, most of them within a year or two.
Oh, they're gone, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love those plans. They're great.
I didn't know that
Now,
either.
God,
I have learned so much. One of the reasons I come in here, I love how much I learn every day I come in. Really?
I'm sure.
About every subject in the world when you come in.
But you know, in the state of Colorado, we had everything covered because we had covered Colorado, right? Pre-existing conditions.
We were ahead of the game.
We were ahead of the game.
It was already taken care of.
So when the Affordable Care Act came along, all it did for us here in the state is raise premiums tremendously.
Yeah.
Because we've already now we're picking up everybody's pre-X that were already covered under covered Colorado. And we lost our choices. So the ACA didn't help. I mean, I guess if you're getting tax credits, it helps because the government's paying your premium basically. But for people that aren't, they're privileged.
I know.
So do you have people often confuse you with the industry and get mad at the high rates thinking you're making a lot of money?
It happens,
Yeah,
but not
people
often.
say,
Most people are, like 90+% and 95% of people are very, I know you're here to help me. Like, thank you for guiding me through this. It's confusing. It's hell. It's frustrating.
But what you say when you say we have no fees or anything like that, we don't, because everything when the insurance companies file with the state, they file our little commissions in.
I know.
So if
when people go direct though, they don't get a discount for not using
it.
Insurance
Their internal sales team, because all the carriers have an internal sales team, and they're not going to. They're just selling their own plan.
So, do you like driving in this?
No.
That's why I drove.
You know,
hey, remember the movie See No or whatever?
They're making. You've read about the research, haven't you? They're doing thermal imaging for people with no sight, going directly to the brain. There are ways that you ought to look it up. They're not seeing perfectly, but there will be a time when people without sight, in most cases, will be able to navigate roads.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know, just about everything that they've ever had on Star Trek has become real. Communicator.
You know what? The one thing that I keep saying can't happen, although a quantum physicist will tell me I'm wrong, is the beam me up. You know, the beam. Well, yeah, that too. But but if you think about it, if you take a rock and a person, I mean, if you align the spaces and the atoms, I mean, theoretically they can move through each other, you know. But
what if they stop in the middle?
Well, what a quantum physicist will tell you is that It is theoretically
yeah,
possible.
exactly. I was going to bring up that.
It is theoretically possible. Oh, the fly, yeah.
Yeah, remember that? If you would have swatted that fly and got him out of there, you would have been fine.
The replicator they have, they take, they can make anything with a replicator.
Well, you know, that I can imagine more of that so than I can the what do they call it, transporter?
Yeah, the cell phone came from there. The guy that actually started the cell phone saw it on Star Trek and thought that's what they needed.
As the little communicators?
Yeah. Yeah, they flipped open our first phone.
We had mobile phones years. I had a mobile phone. It was a
brick.
radio.
A brick.
No, I'm talking about in my car. It was a radio, but we could dial numbers. It was just, they somehow converted it, and you had to use a microphone, but it was, I could call someone on the phone. I had a car phone. They called it a mobile phone.
Radio probably.
I had one too.
It was a radio, and what you would do is somehow you went and you got the carrier, and then you dialed it on your mic. There was a number, and then somehow that happened, and then it timed out. It timed out after a certain time, you know, and then you had to call back. And the other one was, and you didn't have duplex either, because you couldn't talk and listen at the same time.
But I had one for about a year. God, it was expensive though.
Yes, and then I had, after a mobile phone, a bag phone, which was a radio phone. It was the mobile version of a car phone. Then I had a cell phone that was a bag phone. Then a cell phone that was a brick.
Yeah.
But that was, the bag phones were Mitsubishi.
I never had the bag.
Not the radio bag phone, but the cell bag phone. And cells were so few and far between. It was difficult to talk.
Coverage was hard.
I was an early adopter of everything. I was just a freak. I love that stuff. Hey, I'm Tom Troubleshooter. Your troubleshooter.
Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK this hour brought to you by PanaceaLife.com, because the CBD products truly work for pain. 800-985-0515. PanaceaLife.com. Okay, so let's talk. We're talking not just health insurance, but my God, we're getting so many calls about it. So we'll take them as we do. And we're talking also about Medicare. We're talking about also supplements and whatever. But with health insurance in general, you can ask anything. Integra Insurance Group is our guest today. Now listen, when they're not here, go to integrainsurance.com. But also know this. If you have any other problems, questions, or complaints, we will gladly take those calls, okay? And I want to ask, in general, we are having no increases this open enrollment. When does open enrollment start?
Open enrollment officially begins November 1st.
Am I correct in saying there won't probably be increases?
Well, so true. So the average rate decreased across the state this year will be 18.2%. Now,
that's good news.
If you're getting a tax credit, if you're receiving a tax credit, so your premiums are already lowered, and this is based on income. If you're receiving a tax credit, how that affects your tax credit in a couple weeks when we have these plans and rates available, we'll be able to see, but it won't be as significant as someone who's paying full price for their health insurance, because as the tax credit or as the premiums reduce, the tax credit adjusts accordingly as well. So your tax credit will be reduced. And so it remains to be seen. So that's why you want to pay attention. You want to make sure that you are looking and shopping to see, maybe you're on a bronze plan and your premium actually increases. Right?
But you can find a cheaper one, most likely. So let's talk to Mike. You read a Medicare booklet, and what did it say about coverage in starting January 2020?
Yeah, it's the Medicare 2020 book. It's got about 100 pages in it. Anyhow, under the section Medigap, it says beginning January 1, 2020, if you're new to Medicare, you can't. You'll not be able to buy the Medigap plans.
Okay.
If you're already
well, you and I both know, Mike. You and I both know that come January 2020 and open enrollment next year, we will be able to buy supplements. So it's not talking about normal supplements.
It says. I don't know. I'll send you a page here.
Okay, Mike. I'm just telling you that you're right. I don't doubt what it says, but it's not referring
to regular supplements.
Well, it would be the Plan F, is what I believe
Right.
it would be referring to.
Because in order to get Medicare, starting in 2020, your age would be such that you don't qualify for F.
Well, it says here.
Okay, Mike.
Plan C and F.
Okay.
Charlie and Frank.
That's right. That's exactly right. But what we're talking about, 99.9% of the time when we talk about supplements, we're talking about G, Plan G. And that's what people should be buying. It's a good plan if you're going to have one. So what do you have now?
I've got G. My wife has F.
Okay. Your wife, her plan, she can keep it, right, or not?
Yes, that's correct.
She just can't.
She can keep it.
But there's no reason to, Mike, that I know of. Not any reason to keep F. No. Jamie, welcome to the show. What's going on, Jamie?
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Are you there?
Yes. What's going on?
I have. I signed up a year ago. I have Humana Advantage Gold Plan.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot. I just wonder if there's anything better than that. I haven't been able to find it.
Did you hear our comparison of your normal Part A and B with a supplement and a drug plan? Did you hear our comparison?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, Jamie, here's what I heard. I heard that in most cases, really, the AB with a Plan D, with a drug plan, and a Part D drug plan and a supplement G, is a really good option for. I don't know. Let me say, most people, half people. What do you think as far as? And we can't talk to Jamie about his unless he calls you and you'll go through it. And there's no charge for that, Jamie. But what do you think? Are most people served better with the normal Medicare with a supplement and a drug plan?
It's our humble opinion that would be the case for the majority of people, but not everyone. I mean,
no,
that's where this gets personal, and we have
there
that
are no
conversation.
absolutes.
Absolutely,
there are no absolutes.
We want to get you into the plan that you're going to feel most comfortable with, that's going to best fit your needs, lifestyle, and budget, and that's where we have that conversation. Ask a lot more.
But some of the questions they ask are like choice and doctors and drugs and all kinds of stuff, Jamie. Just as a rule. Go ahead.
I get to see. I see my doctor I've been seeing for 15 years now, which is phenomenal. My Medicare payment every month is $135.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I mean, I have zero copays, zero prescription.
What plan? What plan are you with?
Humana Gold Advantage.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I searched, and I was new like everybody else when they turned 65. You don't know a whole lot about it.
That's
so I
right.
Searched and searched.
That's right.
And I compared, and the one I got, it beats everything I've been able to find.
But you have to concede that there would be others well served with another kind of plan.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
It all depends on where they're sitting. And in my position, I'm self-employed. I'm 65. I'm not going to even file for Social Security till I'm 70.
You know, I can't even. I don't know. I like easy answers. I was saying, this is the best. This is not. You know, that's like when I just did that little commercial about CBD products. This is the one that works, and it really does. I like to do that with health, but you can't. These guys won't do that. They'll say it depends. Their entire thing, and they're telling the truth. There is, you can't say this is what you do. Now, when I called, they had definite answers for me. They have known me for years and provided me health insurance for years. They knew exactly what I needed. They did. And I love that. And they'll get to know you too. And that's the other thing. You don't pay for the service. I feel guilty once in a while. They're even buying me lunch. I mean, I feel so guilty because you don't pay for this, and if you go direct, you're not going to save any money. So that's why we use Integra Insurance. I mean, what can I tell you? Yvonne, what's going on, Yvonne?
Well, I have a question because I'm kind of half listening.
Okay.
You may have answered it already, but my question is, sorry, I have a cough. Hold on just 1 second. My question is that the premiums that we pay through our employer, the supplemental costs that we incur as an employee.
Are you talking about for a normal employer provided plan?
Yeah, the company pays their percentage, and then yes. Is that what we pay, our supplemental cost of insurance, are we able to deduct that in the new tax law?
Okay.
Is my question.
It's called out-of-pocket. And you're out-of-pocket whether it's a premium or not. All out-of-pocket medical expenses have to rise to a certain percentage of income for you to deduct anything health-related. Most people don't meet that standard. I think
is that different? Has it changed? Is that different from?
It's 2%, I believe, isn't it, guys? I hate to say that. Is it? Do you know? I mean, this is a tax question more than anything. We can find out exactly if you want to, but it's been the same for a while. It's a certain percentage of your income, and you know what?
I think it changed, but I'm not clear on what
we'll find out for you, okay? And we'll let you know.
Okay.
But in any case, no matter what, you still have to pay it anyway, right? I mean, whether it's deduct. Right. Yeah, you just want to know for taxes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have other health care expenses you could add into that for your health expense?
Yeah, but my question, I knew what the prior tax law was. I want to know what the new tax law is concerning medical.
All right. If you want to listen, we will definitely get that answer. Like what percentage of medical expenses can be deducted? And I believe it's everything above a certain percentage of your gross, and we'll find that out for you. Plus, Greg wants to talk about para. Good question. That's a teacher or people like that, right? And then we have Daniel, signed a contract for a car lease last night. We need to talk to him right after this. He comes up first.
Weekdays 2 to 4. It's Michael Brown.
Premiums, which can't be deducted because they're already being
paid
I got tax, you. Right?
You find what I found, 7.5%?
Is it up to that much? Holy crap.
That's
all right, good, thank you.
But that's medical expenses, not premium.
Premium doesn't count.
That doesn't hold on.
Oh.
Only self-employed.
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam is the most amazing insulation you're ever going to run up against. I love this stuff. If you have regular insulation in your walls, you're probably paying too much in energy bills, and it's not too late to do something about it. You can retro foam with this state-of-the-art injection mold foam, that's done from the outside of the house to fill every nook and cranny. Now, of course, if you don't have any insulation or an old house, you're going to want to do this. You will save up to 50% on energy bills. Plus, once this is all filled with this environmentally friendly, no outgassing foam, never gets rock hard, it stays pliable, you can even fish through it if you need to put a wire or a pipe. Once you do this, your house becomes like 80% more quiet plus energy bill savings. When you see this video, you'll be sold like I was. Look at the video. FoamYourWalls.com. It's an amazing product. FoamYourWalls.com. 720-676-6333. 720-676-6333.
How much more is it, Tom?
What's that, sir?
Guarantees on if they got this right.
That foam, when you say more, if you're having insulation done after your house is built and you're going to have the cellulose blown in, it might be maybe a tiny bit more, not much. It'll pay for itself in a couple months. What's that? They're good too. They're really good. They have great insulating products in cellulose. I'm just talking about this. She's really good. We like them best way. But you know, it's a different product altogether. You get, like you may not want to overkill if you're not going to stay in that house for a long time. Yeah, no, are you looking to insulate your home?
Yeah. I'll come over and help with your day.
Yeah, we're completely remodeling. Maybe you can give us some suggestions.
You don't have an attic.
Number 9. To bring the beer.
Johnny,
No, only have to have
You should have.
the bedroom and garage.
And I apologize if I got yours wrong. It said bread, and then they asked me one or the other.
They can order a detailed bill of lading.
Is that okay?
From
Oh, yeah, that's why we do the
So they can order a detailed booklet from Terra.
Thank you.
It's amazing how many questions we have.
One
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
You ought to call your dad and see
Fingers
what
crossed that it's done correctly. Here's some extra. You have some
They did a great job.
All right.
Give me 1 minute.
Oh, Social Security. Yeah, because I was on
if you're without coverage, what can do something.
Guys, premiums are not counted in deductible expenses.
Not if they're an employee.
Not if they're an employee. If they're self-employed.
You can write it off.
That's under the new tax law as well, right?
No. So you don't count that in with your medical expenses for your 7%.
Right. So premium is not. Weird.
Can they count long-term care? Because at one time they could count long-term care if the government was trying to get people.
That was on your HSA. HSA could pay for it.
The government was trying to.
Have HSAs gone away?
No. You still have yours.
I can't do it, right?
No, you can't fund it. But you still have money in your HSA. Because you were overfunding it at one time.
Can anyone fund it?
Do what now?
Can you open up new ones now?
Yeah, up to age 65. But you and I can't.
Oh, okay. So once you're on Social Security, you no longer can take that money tax deductible.
Yeah, you can. You can still use it for medical related expenses and not pay any tax on those dollars. So I'm using mine for my implants.
Why do you have extra money left?
We were healthy.
Oh.
We never used it.
So you put money away every year that you didn't use?
For 12 years.
Oh.
So we never used it.
And when you take that money out for health,
it's not taxable.
okay.
I can use it for prescription drugs if I were falling the donut hole, whatever. I love it.
John, how many implants did you get?
You know, when I'm in the accident, I lost all these up here.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to dare have them put up there because I don't want to mess around the optical nerve.
You don't have any teeth up here.
Yeah,
besides here and here.
Besides that, those uppers.
Oh, I guess you do.
Too much chance of going to the
Right
sinus
there.
cavity.
Yeah.
High percentage of failure on the implants.
Spicy peppers? Spicy peppers.
There's a high percentage of failures on the
Ah,
implants.
they didn't do it.
But when they
What?
did the all on four,
No, they didn't put my spicy peppers on. Oh well.
and you wrote all that down, didn't you? I saw you.
Thank you, John.
Thank
Or
you.
thank you, all of you.
Well, thank you all. I didn't expect anything like this, a number of phone calls.
I know.
But it is confusing. It's amazing how many people call in the office. They just have no idea which way to go.
I'll say it again. It's my wife and I called you guys, even though you read it and read it.
You know, what we're seeing primarily, Jared did say, you have to look at people and their budget, right?
Yeah.
They're on here.
But if people on the ACA plans that aren't getting any tax credits and they're paying $1,200 to $1,300 a month, sure, I'm going to try to push them towards original Medicare with the supplement.
This report is sponsored by Delta Dental of Colorado.
They're still saving $900. And to me, they have better coverage. But Medicare Advantage is becoming big. Mutual of Omaha.
Delta Dental of Colorado can help you protect
Yeah, that is
your oral
something,
health
huh?
We're about to
and
go on, right?
unleash your smile power. Go
He'll
to
let me know.
DeltaDentalCO.com today to see all of the plan options for groups, individuals, and families.
This is down to 15 years.
No talking with your mouth.
Take my feet off.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Plenty of time to take calls. Greg is talking about PARA. PARA is the retirement plan for teachers. Is that right, Greg?
Yes, sir.
So here's what I want to know. I actually, this has nothing to do with anything. And Yvonne, by the way, we have an answer to you too. But with the quarters worked, if you have PARA, it doesn't matter because you could possibly not be eligible for Social Security because it's not just quarters, but it's quarter paid in. And when you're a PARA employee, you don't pay in to Social Security, do you, Greg?
No.
So, are you retired right now?
No. My wife actually is covered by para. So long ago, when we got married, she worked for about 5 years and has Social Security, a Social Security benefit that will come. For the last 12 years, she's worked for para, and I'm wondering how that affects the ability to get Medicare. I heard you talking about the 40 quarters. 40 credits to be eligible for Medicare, I believe.
If someone
and I think she meets that.
So what would they do? Like if you worked for para all the time, you would not be eligible for Medicare, right? Isn't that right, guys, or what? Do you know?
You still are eligible for Medicare. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't you have to have
and
a
you
certain,
can
don't you have to have a certain number of quarters that we talked about? No?
Yeah, but with para, and we can definitely look.
Okay, if we don't know, we'll look it up.
Yeah, absolutely, we'll make sure. But I know that if you're on para, you do have the opportunity. You have to elect Medicare A and B, and you can do that. And then,
does your para benefit pay for it?
I do not believe Medicare. No, not Medicare B. But you can also elect. You can look at Medicare plans through para as well. How old is your wife?
60.
Okay, so she's got a little bit of time anyway.
Para offers health care, dental, and vision insurance under Paracare, and it says, and they're eligible dependents. Medicare is the federal health insurance program for everyone 65 and older, but that doesn't tell me who's eligible.
You do have there are steps to enroll in a Paracare Medicare plan, and there are also through Para. I know that there's a significant sized document that you can download to kind of walk you through all of this as well. But there is a checklist and there are steps to enroll in a Paracare Medicare plan, and different entities, Social Security, places like that you can call. We can look into it a little bit more as well.
Does money change hands? For example, do you have to pay for your Part B if you get Social Security's, if you get a benefit, or if you get Part B, you pay a premium. So would a para employee have that money taken out of their benefit? Do you know how that works?
I'm not sure right now, but I do have a para contact.
We're going to find out. This is a great question. Yvonne says she has an answer. Hold on. Yvonne, go ahead.
I believe I have an answer. I'm not 100% because I heard it from a third party, from a retired teacher.
Okay. All right.
And from what he was saying, from my understanding, is that you can take either or. If you've worked for so many years and paid Social Security and you want to go that route, you can do that. Or if you have para,
I'm seeing this in writing right now as you're saying it.
Either or. You can't have.
That's right.
You can't do both.
That's right. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm reading right now. Thank you very much. Now, also, as far as work-related, some people might be Medicaid eligible, and so that can fill in for, and we said this before, for a supplement. It could be your supplement, actually. So, Greg, what question specifically did you have? Because I just found out that you can select either or when it comes to your plan.
So, 3 other quick questions. Where can the average individual learn more about Medicare? Do we go to the government website?
It's a pretty good website. Medicare people themselves, you can actually make an appointment, walk into a Medicare or to a Social Security office, and ask any question you want. It doesn't have to be for anything specific. They will meet with you. They will.
Excellent.
Or you can call them, or you can go to the website. If you're ready for retirement and you're looking for what's better, an Advantage plan or a supplement, these guys at Integra Insurance will answer as many possible questions as you can toss at them. And IntegraInsurance.com, 303-466-5500. Now, let's see. Marty is off. He had isn't he? Yeah, that guy had a comment. He dropped off. Daniel. Go ahead, Daniel. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. Well, basically, I was searching for a new car, and I ended up getting into a lease, and I wanted to know, is there a way to get out of it? Because I just purchased it last night, like a buyer's remorse or anything?
There is no, unless they provide you a 3-day right to rescind or any kind of a period to back out, there is no automatic 3-day right to rescind. at all, unless, now this is a really odd one, and most people don't even know this. If you met that car guy at a restaurant or you met him at a library, the federal law has an obscure clause in it that says that if it's done door to door at your home or in a place other than the normal place of doing business, you could have a 3-day right to rescind. I suspect you went to the dealership.
Correct. Yeah, I did.
Okay, now let's talk about this though. I hope you didn't trade a car in, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because you when you trade a car in a lease, I don't care how honest they say they are, you will never get credit for a car ever. In fact, it can only hurt you. The next question, why do you want to get out of it?
I got really high payments. I was told when I first went in there it'd be around like 300, and then when it was all said and done, it's like 480.
Okay, now, do you know why it went up? Did they slap you with a lot of extra stuff? It's called padding the payment. They do that with leases often because lease payments are so much cheaper than buying that then they start having you compare one to the other. And they say to you, hey, how about this and how about that? For example, did you get credit life and credit disability? Did you get mop and glow? Did you get fabric protection? Did you get all kinds of crazy extra stuff?
Not all kinds. I opted in for like a Colorado package, which was like a clear bra, window tinting, and a maintenance package, which I was told was only like $10. So
$10 a month?
Right.
That's outrageously expensive. Outrageously. What about okay? Did you get an extended warranty?
Right. Yeah. It's not an extended warranty. No, I just got the factory warranty.
Okay. Okay. Your payment is $480 for how long?
For 4 years, 48 months.
Okay. And what's the residual on it when you're all done?
They said I could buy out at the end of it for another $10,000.
Okay. So I do something called total cash out, and I compare it. So if you hold on, we'll do that. Plus, we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. Just let me put some figures down, and we'll come back and analyze it.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky.
Yes. One thing, I think it is, that since we're trying to make this informative for everybody, what's interesting, we do get a lot of phone calls, Johnny, remember?
About?
Where people automatically think they get Medicare Part A.
That they what?
Automatically get Medicare Part A.
Okay.
And let's say they're working on a group. They work for a group, they plan to continue to work, they just think, okay, do I need to apply for my Medicare A? They do, unless they're receiving some kind of government benefit.
Some kind of what?
Government benefit. Social Security, they start taking Social Security early, or like me, SSDI, then I would normally have gotten my Medicare Part A.
I'll bet you it's a cheaper car.
If, and we just found this out, we went to training, if you're working, let's say you plan to continue
like I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't have group coverage. You just went on Medicare.
No, but if someone's
hold on
one sec, hold on. We'll talk about it right after this. Hold on. Let me just get this done. It'll be 30 seconds after I get on. Simply Floors Inc. has the holiday rush on, and that's benefit to you because, of course, Simply Floors already gives you extraordinary savings. They really do. They simply make less profit. It's that simple because Simply Floors wants your business 20, 30, 40% now for the holiday rush, an extra 5% plus low-cost financing and all of the selection of any big box. You make your own appointment on the website, simplyfloorsinc.com. That's INC like incorporated, simplyfloorsinc.com. Okay, so I'm listening.
Let's say if they work for a group.
Yes.
Okay, and plan to keep working.
Right. And they're 65.
65.
Okay, what happens?
Okay, if they have 20 employees or less, they need to apply for their Medicare A and B because that will be their primary coverage. Okay? If they don't apply for their Medicare Part A and B at that time, they will be hit with penalties. They're big. If they're 21 employees up, your group coverage becomes primary, and they don't need to apply for their Medicare Part B. It's silly to waste that $135 a month, okay?
Because they already have other coverage.
They already have it, and they're a bigger group, And they might, if they like their group, stay with it. We tell people.
Right,
do
you
that
don't
all
have
the time.
to take Medicare is what you're saying until you need it.
If you're 20 or less, if
Right.
you're in a group coverage 20 or less, you have
If-
to
okay.
take Medicare because that will become your primary coverage.
You have to take it.
If it's 20 or less.
Or you get penalized for not having coverage. is what
That
you're
is a
saying.
group
Right.
coverage will adjudicate.
I mean, it's silly, but technically someone over 65 could still buy individual coverage, can they?
No.
They can't. They're not even eligible for it. Okay. So I couldn't even go out and buy it if I wanted it.
No.
If I'm not eligible for Medicare, I could, right?
I mean, we've seen it some, hadn't we, Johnny, through Connect for Health, where...
But you're getting into like...
Yeah, that's
I know, minutia, but that'll never happen probably. But
You're
I
getting-
imagine, what if somebody moved to this country and
That's what you're getting into.
Okay. But if you're a citizen, what if you don't have the quarters?
You have to pay for Medicare.
You can buy.
You can buy
Okay.
in.
You can buy
But you
in.
have to, or you get penalized for not having insurance, right? Wait, didn't the penalty get taken away?
This is different. It has nothing to do with the Affordable Care Act.
Oh.
Medicare does not. It has nothing to do with the Affordable Care Act.
But there's no more penalty, right, for not having...
For the Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
At least for the next...
Under 65.
Yeah,
Year
until,
plus.
and you think until he loses.
I don't know. You asked me a month ago, and I would have been 100% sure he was going to win it.
No, I know. He's going fucking crazy. I mean, this Kurd thing in Turkey.
But
Come
now-
on, Dano, you even think that's shitty, don't you?
Well, I think they should have done it a little better, yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they did it.
I can't believe
And then he's
NATO
on the phone with
doesn't
Turkey.
kick out Turkey for doing this.
Exactly. Exactly.
NATO is the worst. I tell you,
But
Trump is
what
right
it
about
almost
NATO.
sounds like, though, they said he was on the phone with them. What did he say? We're going to be pulling out, have your way?
No, and Turkey told them they were going to attack right
I
away.
know.
They are.
Because they consider the Kurds terrorists, right?
Well,
There's
the
so many
Kurds were
different factions of
the Kurds were the only ones standing up for protecting the Christians when Obama wouldn't even.
No, I know.
Correct.
There's different Kurd factions. You have Kurds and
But aren't the Kurds normally peace-loving or not? Or is that just PR?
They're violent, I've heard, but I'm wondering.
No,
if
violent
that
for
is-
defense, I think.
Oh, they're
That's
good.
what I
It
was.
seems like
that's
every
what I
time we
was
help
gonna
one group
say.
of people in that region,
We're pissing off
10 years
someone else.
later, that same group of people we helped now hates us again, or hates us. And then there's a new, like,
Isn't it
just
crazy
constantly...
that we? Oh, I didn't put any numbers to this.
That's been going on over there for 3,500 years.
Times 40.
But I do agree when he says we should have stayed out of the Middle East.
Is this me?
Yeah, I agree.
Tom Martino here, trying to analyze a lease for Daniel.
No, I do a total cash out scenario. By the way, never buy extras with a lease, and the acquisition cost of a lease should be the same as if you purchased it. If it's not, you're getting screwed. All the advantages of a lease are stripped from it when those factors aren't so. Also, how many miles? Here's your primary consideration. You must be able to live to the terms. If you're not going to keep the car for the period of time, under no scenario on earth should you lease. So if you can't keep it 4 years and you lease 4 years, you're crazy. You're crazy. Now, if you have a certain mileage and you can't keep it, you shouldn't do it. So my first question to Daniel, I just want to analyze this. Daniel, the first question is, can you live by the terms? It's 4 years. Are you going to keep it 4 years?
Yes, I wanted to keep it.
How many miles a year?
It's 10,000.
Unrealistic. Unless, of course, you're in town, you never drive. Is it unrealistic for you?
Well, doing the math, it's about 29 miles a day. So, yeah, because it's about 12 miles or so to work and then back home. So.
Okay. Then if that's unrealistic, you have a problem because you're already looking at penalties. Now, I want to add up. You said the residual is 10,000. Is that absolutely sure?
From basic look on the contract, yes. It says at the end of the lease,
kind of
I
a
can
car?
file for 10,000.
What kind of a car is it?
It is a Volkswagen Jetta 2019.
Okay. Now, that car, if you were to buy it at the best price, what would you pay for it?
Probably about 24.
Okay, hold on. You saying you could get that brand new with the same equipment and stuff that you have for how much?
24,000.
Okay. Now, I did some math here. Your total cash out on your investment is 33. Okay.
The delta, the difference between what you can buy it for today and that car is $9,040. Okay? That's if you paid cash. So that lease is costing you $9,040 over 48 months. So now you divide that and you come up with $188 a month. Now you do the same thing for a purchase. If you were to purchase that, you do the same thing to see how much that purchase is costing you. This lease is not a terrible lease, but it's artificial. You're never going to be able to, you're going to have loads of penalties because of the mileage unless you park it for like a year or, they screwed you basically. What is the acquisition? Okay. What's the acquisition cost on this vehicle? If you look just at that line, it's called acquisition cost.
Acquisition, that would be like the purchase price?
Yes, but it's called acquisition because purchase, they can screw around with that. Do they have a line called acquisition?
Yeah, I don't have the contract right in front of me, though.
Do you roughly remember what that purchase or acquisition was?
Right, I want to say it's like around 27.
Okay, so then now I often tell people this, take the acquisition cost and then subtract what you can normally purchase it for, which you just told us was 24, and you're looking at a $3,000 difference. So really there are different ways to analyze a lease. In every way we analyze it, you've been screwed. But you might be able to make it a little better if you go in and cancel absolutely everything extra they haven't done yet.
Right, okay.
And demand that you cancel it.
Demand. Okay, what if I was...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what if I was to just take the car back to him and be like, you know what, I can't do this, and then walk away from it? What penalties am I going to face?
Well, here's what will happen. Your credit will be trashed. If you don't care about that, they'll do something else. They're going to sell that car for whatever they can get for it. It has to be arm's length, so they can't call a friend and sell it for 10 grand. But there is going to be a difference that they will pursue you for a breach of contract. But it's even worse than that. Listen to this. A breach of contract in a lease is going to be all of those payments multiplied by 48. They're not going to give you the today price. It's non-performance of a 48-month contract. So if they sell it for 20 or 22, their damages will be all of those payments, which we already did, right? Not the residual, but all of those payments come to 23 grand. So whatever they sell it for, they're going to subtract from 23. And that's what you're going to owe them, at least.
Gotcha.
Then they'll come after you with a judgment. And they'll get it one way or another, or you do a bankruptcy. And it's terrible that this whole thing would turn into a bankruptcy. You can't be in a lot of debt because you wouldn't have been approved. Are you in a lot of debt?
No, I kind of just bit off more than I could chew. You must
have a really good credit score right now.
No, actually, no. I'm about a 650. So.
Well, that's not terrible. That was enough to get this lease.
Right. Okay. One last question for you, Tom. You were talking about mileage. If I plan to keep it, does the mileage even matter?
Now, that's debatable. It does and it doesn't. If you truly buy it from yourself at the end, it's not. The only thing that matters is you will be paying for that car at the end more than you can buy a similar car of that vintage at the end. You understand? That's how you're going to be paying your penalties, because the full residual value will still be due on a car that's not worth what you're paying. But because you're buying it from yourself, it may be a bit more palatable than buying it from a stranger and paying more, because you're making up for past sins. If you do want to do that, you might want to start saving some money. And at some point during the lease, there might be a time where they will offer you a buy it now price that will be worth it. Now, not often does that happen, but sometimes it does. What dealer is this?
It's O'Mara.
Yeah? Hey, guys, does it surprise us? No. O'Mara sucks. O'Mara has gone down, down the tubes. At least don't take it there for service.
Right, okay.
That service plan, does it require you go back there?
No, he said I could take it anywhere. Actually.
Most service plans don't have a requirement that you take it there. Not on a new plan. But anyway, I'm sorry about that, bro, but I don't know. I don't know of anything that'll get you out of it the very next day.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by...
Where would the service plan include besides the
3 for me.
What?
Not really too bad. $10
Hey, since we're not on a block of a syndication, can you take a break in here so I can do one of my in-house? I got way behind. Can I take a little time to do it? Like we're gonna do TMS. We're gonna do TMS, right? Is there another time in there I can do one, or can I do it after TMS, real quick?
If you go by,
okay, so TMS we have to do anyway, right? So do you want me to do mine before or after TMS?
Premiums for most people, not for most. For those who pay full price, premiums are going to be reducing.
as long as you're going to keep it.
And there's new carriers at the market.
If you suffer from med-resistant depression, you know what it's like to stack medicines or keep changing medicines and never feeling just right. There's an FDA-approved prescription-based treatment right here in Colorado that can help you. In fact, it's been clinically proven to be better than just switching or stacking medications. In some rare cases, you don't need medications after this treatment. It's called TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, and it's what it sounds like. A magnetic pulse is directed at your head. Now you might think, oh my God, you don't even know what's happening. It's just a passive, pain-free kind of treatment. I want you to call them to find out more, or look at this website. They can even write the prescription for you. You can talk to your doctor too. TMSsolutions.com. TMSsolutions.com. 303-928-0499.
So this is what I would say. If you buy a 2019 and 2020 brand new,
okay,
you can get everything.
I have another spot after this, guys. Just another little one.
You buy a 2-year-old one, now you don't get the 100,000.
Yeah, that might be an exception. Something like Hyundai.
See if 285's closed. Nope, they're actually fine.
Even used ones are expensive.
I know,
but it's green the whole way.
The first 2 years they take the worst beating on depreciation.
Too early for this one.
But like I say, for the warranties,
yeah,
it really does.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank is just the best. Now, I don't want to insult other real estate people. I'm sure they're nice people, but no one beats the Duran team. It's just that simple. You can see the website at Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, or give them a call, 303-920-1622. It'll be the best call you make if you're looking to list a property or you're looking to buy. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Do you know who Margie is? I don't recognize this called Margie.
Okay, so I had Margie this morning, but she was up for a generator. What's this one?
I don't know.
Okay, here. I didn't write down Margie. Oh, is 67 and has Plan F. I got that.
How's it going?
I just see.
I just wanted to see if I needed to clear anything.
We're doing good, baby. We're doing good.
All right.
Had my name, and I know which one that is. That's on the deck.
You are welcome.
But I can't find a mark anywhere to call that.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Who gave you that?
Daphne.
Oh.
Just gave me this a little bit ago.
I don't know what the Margie is.
You don't know Margie either?
Here, I got a mark. What's the number on it?
303-621.
Yeah, 2399.
So,
the generator one.
I'm just, you know what I don't like? I don't like that health insurance never, or Medicare never addresses dental. It is such an important coverage. And we're in the Stone Ages looking at dental as if it's some extraordinary coverage.
All health insurance.
I
mean, the only thing, even on under 65 health insurance, like they did it for pediatric dental.
But they should. I mean, dental, it could be argued that it can reduce other healthcare costs. It's ridiculous how they treat it, and mental health too. They're better with mental health than they've ever done.
Getting better.
Yeah. But still, there are two stigmas: mental health and dental. Ridiculous. But I meant what I said about health insurance. I really mean it. I mean, they are not.
You know what MLR is, right?
Huh?
Medical loss ratio.
Yeah. What about it?
Well, that's just where 80% of all premium dollars that come in have to be paid out towards claims. Right?
Well, okay. Why don't you look at their financials?
No, they're still making money.
How do they get their endowments? I mean, they have reserves more than most countries.
Yeah.
No, they have way more than. They pay dividends. They pay. They're just look. You know, you remember the minutes from the State Farm meeting? Maybe you don't know, but they were bragging about the claim denials and how much more they made for their policy for their stockholders. Yeah, it was in a book, Deny and Defend. They're just not good people. I mean, here's the problem. The culture, they don't get around and say, let's hurt people. They don't do that. It's business. It's just business. But they look, on health insurance, for example, there used to be, I knew people who processed them for workers' comp. They would routinely, just, if literally not dotted the I over the I, they'd say this, they can't read it, or they didn't know what they meant. Was it an L? Was it an I? And they would send it back just because they were taught if they could delay a claim 30 days, it meant thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands to them if they all as an aggregate group could deny for just a little time. Just put it, because that money is making so much money for them.
That's why Oscar started.
Really?
This new carrier who's coming. And it was, like I said, it was
I want to talk to them.
It was a computer science guy.
Can you give me a contact? I'm serious.
Yeah. Computer science guy who's German, he's computer science. I mean, he's a really smart guy. He couldn't figure out an EOB. And he said, this is unbelievable. I should be able to figure out an EOB. And every time he called the insurance company, he felt like they were just trying to give him a quick answer to push him
And if
on.
they do deny, where do you go? You go to them for their appeal. It's not, there's no outside. It's that, well, you do an appeal and they say, yeah, well, we agree. You're not appealing to somebody that's taking a fresh look at it. Hi,
One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They do this Martino inspection. They inspect and adjust things and the safety settings and also the hinge bolts they tighten. They check the cables. They want to be your company. They're going there because they want to be your company and put the sticker there. And if they find a problem, they'll give you an honest estimation. But if you're moving into a home or you just moved in, they're not going to go if you don't own the place. But if you're moving in, you may want to have this Martino special. Anyway, OneClearChoiceDoors.com, whether it's a sudden emergency or you're just looking to shop for doors or openers or both, 720-370-3987. 720-370-3987, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Wow, phones have finally calmed down, but if you want to get right through, you can. 303-713-TALK. Weather-related, people, let me just say this. This is the kind of weather on the first cold that people get in trouble. And they get in trouble because they get afraid and someone tells them they need something or something is dangerous. Please call all of our providers for a few second opinions. That's Plumline Services, that's Fix It 24/7, or any of our great carriers. You can call, go to referralist.com, and you can call all of our good people. Now, when it comes to health insurance, we've been talking mainly about Medicare, but health insurance in and of itself is important. And there are experts at Integra Insurance that will take the time, not like on the show here. This is a cursory look at stuff. They will go through all of your needs to try to find the coverage best for you. Now, what is new in the coverage business? Are there new companies? I remember one time you guys had me hooked up with a company, and I said it's too good to be true, and guess what it was? It went away the following year. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Some co-op?
Colorado Health Op. So
They
all
were
the
really
co-ops
good.
across the country went away.
They were really good. Why are co-ops good? Why did they go away?
Well, there's a lot to that probably.
They couldn't afford
a lot more.
it?
Yeah, I mean, just mismanagement. But it has to do with that.
But the
that
idea
cost,
is good. Is the idea that all the
from the government not being there?
Is that all the policy owners own it? Is it like that? It's like a mutual, isn't it? Almost
That was somewhat the
and
idea.
a nonprofit,
but
right? Wasn't it nonprofit?
They were being subsidized. They were being subsidized by the government, and some of those subsidies got pulled that were being expected. And there was just multiple.
Are there any nonprofit insurance carriers?
I mean, technically,
we have Christian Share, but they're not insurance.
Technically, Kaiser would be a nonprofit insurance company. Yep.
And that really is, I mean, if you think about it, the original shipbuilder, when he did this for his employees, it was a great idea. I mean, he said, I'm going to provide health care, and I'm going to control it all so I can't get screwed, and at the same time, you get good coverage, and then spread it to other industries. The concept is a good concept. I think the problem comes in with lack of choice. It all comes down to that, right?
Well, I think, Tom, it's important to in this state, in Colorado, we do have a very strong and stable ACA market. We have a lot of carrier options compared to other states that are in our country. And we have carriers seeing that and coming in. Like this year, we have a new carrier called Oscar who's coming in and who started in New York. And so we have multiple
carrier options. Didn't you say, what was Oscar? Explain Oscar.
Oscar's just, it was started by non-health insurance people, basically.
And they said, we want to help people. We
want to help people understand and figure this thing out. But that's where all these, I mean, there's not one specific carrier that's best for everyone, right? I mean, there are people who have, all these carriers have specific networks of doctors and hospitals, and that's where we take the time to sit down with our clients to ask those questions. Who are doctors? What are your prescriptions? Those types of things, so we can figure out what's right for you.
Would a single-payer business, obviously, that'd be bad for you, right? Single payer.
Not necessarily.
No?
I mean, not necessarily. It's just because then you'd probably be looking at these health insurance carriers offering supplements.
Okay.
Right?
Because the basic carriage, the basic insurance wouldn't be for everyone. It would be, and people would be able to purchase more. Do you think there's any, I shouldn't say hope because it's not necessarily good, but do you think there's any possibility of ever having a future single-payer system? Or how do you guys feel about it?
I could see it in my lifetime.
I would say. I think,
but I don't know. I mean, it's a very toxic. I mean, it's a very polarizing.
Yeah, because people look at it as socialism, a step towards socialism, and that word, of course, scares the hell out of people. Here's what I believe, though. I never believed it would be possible before getting on Social Security, and I'll tell you something. I really am more shocked than ever because I've been through motor vehicles. I've been through all kinds of government things. Medicare is the finest program I've ever been associated with, private or government. What is it about Medicare that is so different than the government? How can they be run? It's the explanations, the people, the way they have candor, they're polite, they're efficient. What is that? Why? Why is Medicare so damn good? I mean that. Anybody?
I mean, Tom, I love Medicare. Just like you.
Why is it so good?
We've paid into it all life. They've had plenty of time to get the system right.
They do have it right, don't they?
It's incredibly regulated.
But obviously, Medicare's got its problems because in 10 years it could be bankrupt. So they're going to have to make changes.
Okay, so they are really in the red.
Oh, big time.
So, okay, and why is that? Is it because the premiums are too low?
Very much so. And look at all the benefits we have as Medicare A and B.
Okay.
And your deductibles and everything. There's going to have to be changes.
All right. I guess I should have listened. I took my headset off and unplugged it. So our out is 5814 or 19. Okay. So thank you, IntegraInsurance.com. And, of course, don't forget, referrallist.com. Save all your problems for me.
16 chances a day to win a grant.